I'm Ruthie, she, they, and I play Sentinel, she, they.
I'm Will, he, him, and I play Moxie, she, her.
I'm Imi, she, her, and I play Ahmaya, also she, her.
I'm Steve, he, him. I play Ora, he, him.
I'm Sarah, she, her, and I play Freya, she, her.
Hi, I'm Mike, he, him, and I'm playing Eugene Ballantyne, he, him.
I'm Charlie, he, him, and I'm your DM. So, there is a place, far away, where many worlds are tangled together. It is this knotting that lets its energies flow and mix as blood through capillaries. But for eons now, it has been left to thrive or to fade. Together, we travel through this knotted compass to the very centre, to the world where once all others converged. It glistens there now, a scarred blue dot, turning inexorably, beautifully, and its name is Descordia. Through parting clouds we fall, and its largest continent looms beneath us, the vast land of Hazali, stretching from pole to pole, corded with mountains, alive with forests, and dotted with a patchwork of cities and colourless voids. We dive south to the glass desert, where in the distance an awful black memory blots the land. Lower we bank, partly in hope of obscuring the dark thing in our vision. We shoot past a great silver condor, the air hot and blustering, and beneath us, the desert sand blooms into pastel bands of mauve, blues, greens, and pinks. But still south we travel, and the blot on the horizon grows to its enormous size, a sphere of silent, roiling black, buried half in the desert, half in the ocean. For hundreds of miles around it, the crags of desert rock ripple outward like frozen waves. But we're not here for that. We make our final descent into that craggy stone land between two steep cliffs, in the shade of which a cluster of specks march as ants towards a hole in the rock. With the lengthening shadows of the setting sun, they gather about this tunnel. Their movements, their promises, their laughter, and their mistakes each scratch a new word into the entanglement itself. This is why we're here, to watch as a new leaf is turned, as one story is written and another is just beginning. Now, each of you drafted yourselves into Gaspar's second unit for your own reasons, some forced, some chosen, some fleeing, some searching. And whatever your pasts, each of you now have the same mark on your forehead that binds you into service, into this one excursion. Most of you know that this captain has been sent on a special trip to the deep sands, not in the deep sands where the other units trek, but into the Cragmore, which we just described, the rocky expanse, the southwest. But you don't know what he searches for, only that it's a strange excursion. You've been delving into tombs for a couple of weeks that have been left by long dead people looking for artifacts of another time, for coilstones maybe, that hold immeasurable value. But the crags that you've been climbing down are often collapsed tunnels of sandstone, dark granite that were carved by once prolific desert folk. They've always been empty. They've always been looted already. But as you enter this tomb, it feels different. Your captain sent a large number of your unit down, like he was expecting to find something. And now you're here, where the others felt like recent sort of pillaged crypts. This one feels more undisturbed. And he split each of you into small groups that you've become familiar with or even competent in, along with a handful of others along for the excursion. And through this narrow sheer in the grey rock you climbed, torches raised. You moved in procession down the main dust-clogged channel.
Are you seriously rolling already?
Yeah.
It's not okay. Fucking shit.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Okay. Ruthie and Will. So, Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'd really rather not. Do you want to go first, darling?
I guess.
Please go first, darling.
So is it names, or just character descriptions, or what?
Yeah, just what we would see. What we would see of you, yeah.
Okay, so...
Two lies and a truth.
So we see a young, lilac-skinned tiefling. She's got platinum blonde, pale-aged hair with purple lavender highlights. She's got bright pink eyes, which sit in like a heart-shaped face. She's quite slim and quite short as well. Right now, she's wearing a plum sort of a long-sleeve tunic dress with black sort of leather riding trousers and brown boots. And then at her side, she's got a mackerel tabby cat, which is my familiar.
I'm always at her side. There's a strong family resemblance to the tall, still lilac-skinned tiefling with a white hair pulled back into a very low ponytail. Think the cat captain from Treasure Planet. That's the vibe. Very severe. You probably haven't heard her talk much at all throughout the journey so far. She kept quite to herself, but stayed fiercely protective over the other one. Mystery child.
Well, as you both walk down this tunnel, this main tunnel, this sort of cloistered darkness, there is a young half-elf with you who you know as Lloyd. He is clearly a little bit disturbed, maybe from a wealthy family of some sort. And he is a little bit unhinged. So he's got this torch, he's holding it ahead of you as you move down the main tunnel. Well, this one's going to be just the same as all the others. If it's interesting, it's going to be smashed. If it's worth anything, it's going to have already been taken. He's just looking ahead of you guys.
I'm going to punch him this time. I'm going to punch him this time. I swear to God, I'm going to punch him this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble for punching. Please don't let me punch him.
He just walks left, straight down the first route. Here we go. And walks through.
We're following him.
Yeah, following
him. You basically, as you walk down this one, it becomes not a natural cave like you were just walking through, but more carved. There's these crypt beds in the side with wrapped corpses that are quite familiar. This is a crypt, so you've seen a few of them before. Maybe it would have been interesting at the beginning of the trip, but it's not really anymore. It's narrow, it's carved into sort of a single file width, and he's sort of going ahead at the same pace. I am Lloyd. No, that's not it. I am Lloyd. No, that's not it.
What are you doing?
I'm practicing. I'm an adventurer. I do the things that other people are scared to do. No, that's not it. He just keeps barreling through this crypt now. He starts kicking some pebbles along the floor.
Can we investigate, see if there's not investigate, I guess. Look around, see if there's
anything. Roll an
investigation
check.
Investigation check.
Ooh, first roll.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, do one as well.
Oh, okay, that's a 12.
Yeah, and
Oh!
that's a natural 20.
Oh!
Or 26.
Damn. Okay.
Is that your new dice?
That's a new dice.
Oh
yeah.
wow! Fucking hell! I'm scared to roll mine.
Me too.
So as you walk down this crypt, it gets narrower and narrower, very slowly, almost like pencil, like the tip of a pencil. You've noticed now that it's just closing in narrower and narrower. Sentinel, you were looking ahead of the light off of Lloyd's torch. You've noticed something underneath the sand ahead, probably 20 feet ahead of you. Whereas Moxie, you are immediately drawn to the pattern and sort of the way that these corpses have been wrapped. Maybe it was your eye looking over the corpses for some inexplicable reason, but you noticed a bump. You just slipped your hand around one of the hands and he pops out a little bag. And in investigating what it is, it's a bag of strange beaten copper coins. They're not currency. They don't look like the currency you're used to seeing, but they're more like an antique, I guess. And on them is, you can just see it, it's a long-limbed figure standing with his arms outstretched, sort of robed figure.
Do I recognise the figure at all?
Roll a history check.
Ooh, okay.
Should I also, or just her?
I think she's holding them in her hand, right?
Yeah,
So
where's history? There you are. So 17?
You know that from the desert people, they supposedly died out a fair few hundred years ago. You're not really sure. It could be some sort of deity that they worshipped in the desert, but it's definitely not something in the current pantheon that you would be more familiar with. Yeah.
Cool.
And as you guys walk ahead, Lloyd's still lighting the way, and you get towards this pattern in the sand, and you notice, Sentinel, that as you brush away some of the sand, it's a stone tablet, like a piece of art, and it shows a heavily robed man kneeling on a dune, clutching something like this to his lips, and in the sky are 10 figures with their backs to him. And as you walk on, the tunnel narrows further into a dead end. Okay. You guys.
Oh, that's what he's rolling for.
Yeah. So my name is Ahmaya, and she's got how'd you spell Ahmya? She's got brown hair that's kind of tied back in like a messy ponytail, and she's got a quite a distinctive red military kind of looking jacket. And then my favourite, leggings and boots. And around her waist she has like a thing to hold a sword, which I don't know how long we've been together.
A couple of weeks.
But she's probably never taken it out around people.
Her sword.
Keeps her sword in its sheath.
What are you trying to insinuate? It's just a sword.
Yeah. So no one's ever actually seen her sword, just the shape of her sword.
Hey.
Is that your sword, or are you just having to see me?
And she's like 19. She's real young.
I mean, everyone's real young.
I think we're
We're
all trying to be much younger.
Yeah, we're all in denial.
We're all living our teenage lives.
I mean, I'm being my age.
The oldest here.
I'm straight up 26.
I am
For
not.
now.
Yeah, that's all.
Cool. I am playing Freya, who is a fairly short and slight female half-elf. She's got very, very curly hair, short curly hair, that hides the top of her, like ever so slightly pointed ears. But she could pass for a human if you weren't looking very hard. She's wearing quite like loose, pulled together random clothes that are quite suited for the desert, like light clothing, and she has a mace strapped to her back.
Oh, did you say what race you are?
I did not.
Would you?
Partly because I don't actually remember what we settled on saying.
You are
Okay,
half elf.
fine.
No, we're
Half
half-elf buddies. We're
Also
also
half elf.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, I was thinking of not race. I was thinking.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Oh, it
half
says
elf.
it here.
Half elf.
I'm half
players.
elf.
So,
Oh, you're doing a me.
This is why you should do D&D Beyond.
I do like the characters in the scene are just going around with like a sheet going, I am 3'6", and
My name is.
well, you guys are travelling deeper into the tunnel than our first pair, and just as you hear them turning off and you hear like the echoes of like going, I am light.
I'm just like the tiny little.
You a couple of 30 seconds or so later, you turn off as well, and away from the same natural stone, it becomes these blocks of grey-brown built into the tunnel. And after only a few minutes of just wandering down this tunnel, you enter a dead end, a circular chamber. It's about 20 feet wide. There are collapsed tables, open chests, small piles of rubble. It's all been covered in dust, like it hasn't been touched for decades and decades. And there's a small plinth in the middle, and in the middle of that plinth is an embalmed, wrapped person, similar to the desert people you've seen a lot of. What are your passive perceptions?
Oh, so good.
Oh,
It's so good.
Oh yeah, yours
You
is
know it.
horrible, isn't
It
it?
is 21.
and mine is
I'm so
13.
perceptive.
Okay,
I see
13.
I see
Yeah.
all you guys.
we're never gonna lose anything.
So
I see what you're doing all the time.
Just furiously masturbating.
Hearing every
Stop
fart in the
that.
camp. You, Amaya, you're looking over at some of the open
I
chests
get
or something like
distracted.
that. But yeah, while Amaya is looking up at something, you notice that this wrapped desert corpse is just ever so slightly twitching.
No.
Oh, that's
Um,
horrid.
And you notice that
Safe
for some reason there's something attached to its arm, like grabbing onto it. It almost, with the 21 that you just standard have, almost looks like a disembodied arm attached to it, like gripping onto this thing. And there's a trail leading from that arm over to a big crack in the floor, a trail in the dust. And this body is just twitching ever so slightly.
As in is the body moving of its like own accord, or is the hand moving it?
You don't know. The whole thing's sort of twitching on that side where the arm is holding it.
Alright, can I like elbow Maya and like point at it and
Yeah.
move backwards?
What?
Look, why didn't...
I'm just gonna slowly back away.
Did you say there's a
Hand
crack
on
in
my
the
sword.
floor?
Yes. And there's this trail, it looks like, from the arm, this disembodied arm, to this hole in the floor.
What kind of trail? Like
Like
Drag?
snail trail?
Yeah, it could be a drag. It's got like
relevant.
scuff marks along it, a bit like. I mean, what would you roll an investigation check?
right. Also, when you say like a disembodied hand, are we talking like just like an arm just being cut
Like
off?
the full arm?
Yep.
Not just like the hand?
It says lower arm, just below
so
the
from
elbow.
down? Okay.
Oh, it's a 2. Wait.
Oh.
What was it? An
Oh, can I help
Investigation.
investigate?
It's 4.
You can roll it. Roll for yourself as well if you want. That's a 4, is it?
It's real close to the 20. It's real.
Investigation.
Maybe you're freaked out by the arm.
14.
Yeah.
14. So you're as Freya points you over to this twitching arm / wrapped body, you immediately, hunter's instincts kick in maybe, and you see that there's the trail. It's definitely where the fingers from this arm have been dragging itself across the floor over a period of possibly days. And that's what this trail is, and it's grabbing on to
It's
this.
thing
this
from the Addams
body.
family, but grosser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the lower
Not
arm as well. Yeah.
Everyone has all their arms, right?
Sponsored by Addams family.
Yes, for now.
Okay, that's creepy.
The arm is ancient, dried, and as you guys are just watching it and you're investigating this trail, you notice that there are these sort of strange vine-like growths that have come from the arm and actually punctured into the wrapped body. And
Okay, am I
it's
seriously
twitching.
thinking about pulling out a sword at this point?
Is that the only weapon you have?
Pardon?
Is that the only weapon you have?
Just like moving on its own. I feel like I'm so scared of using spells because I know one of you guys is going to die.
I am very squishy.
I have a longsword and a scimitar.
Maybe. If it's as you do.
Also, surely detect magic is just going
The
to show me
twitching
that the hand
is getting quite violent now, and in fact, one of the rats
Okay.
is started to fray, like it's sensing your presence potentially.
Okay, I'm not very smart. I'm gonna punch it.
What are you going to punch? The body, the arm,
That seems
the arm.
logical.
The arm.
You're going to punch the arm.
Yeah.
Okay, you roll an attack. It's laying on the floor and it's technically incapacitated, so you get advantage.
Oh, okay, cool.
Probably
Good, that was a 2. I don't know.
You say you miss.
This is a 13.
Oh yeah, that hits.
I mean, it's a
Okay.
fucking
It's a wrapped
arm.
body and arm. Yeah.
Oh, it just says 4 bludgeoning.
Wait, what? I think it's a D4.
No,
No,
just
it's
says 4
just- it's just
bludgeoning.
straight
Unarmed
damage.
strike.
Oh, it's just
so,
oh,
yeah.
Just
damn,
4.
Okay,
Good.
fair. Yeah.
Strong
So you got to.
bitch.
So you it's on the floor and you're not going to kick it. You actually punch it. You walk up. So Freya's like, "What the fuck is that?" And by the time you've gone, "Yeah, that's crawled out the floor," you walk up, smack, and just punches. Bits of like the roots have like this sort of they fracture like bone, and like a bone sort of dust comes off, and you punch this arm and it skitters across the dust the other side of the room.
Rather than push it, you go like full like.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
I'd say it's sort of skittered like 10 feet towards the feet of the body.
It's not like. Okay. Does the body look like it's missing an arm?
No.
I was like, maybe it's reconnecting.
But the arm has now stopped moving.
Is it dead?
Welcome.
Kill the arm again.
I don't know if we're beyond the medicine checks at this point.
Can I like keep an eye on that arm,
Try
but
and
also
stabilise
look at where it
the
came
arm.
from?
Okay,
Follow the
yeah.
trail.
So
take the arm.
you walk across the
I
room
get
to
very
my
badly
hammer. I
bruised.
get my hammer out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
alright.
bash that thing if it comes near me.
It's
I crack my
a,
knuckles.
it's an old. It looks like someone has gone over to this side of the room and they ripped up a tile, and then beneath it there's like the ground has sort of fallen away, and down is just this black abyss.
Can I see anything with my dark vision?
You both have dark vision, right? No, it extends to 60 feet.
Yeah.
You see it going down for 60 feet in the sort of black and white dark vision, and you don't really see anything else. It looks like maybe there's a small system of tunnels that have eroded over time, maybe, but there's nothing down there that you can see.
Are we looking for anything specific? Like, we should
In
just
your
ignore this
mission,
weird thing.
you're looking for relics, treasures,
Alright.
hidden secrets.
I mean, why was it going after this
That's how
mummified
red
body?
it is,
No, with a fuse of spell.
What are you gonna do?
Is there anything written around the body?
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation? 15?
So you're gonna like actually pat down the body then? You're gonna touch it and
I mean, is
look
there
over
any
it?
writing around?
Not around it, no. It's covered in dust, so you scoop away some of the dust, and it's just a plain stone plinth that it's laying on.
Can I prod the body with my hammer?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It's very dry and surprisingly light. Like, it moves a bit like a sort of dried old bit of food.
I don't like it.
It's lost all of its water.
Oh,
This is my thinking noise.
Shall I detect magic it?
So what did you roll for your investigation, sorry?
15.
I'd say that you see poking out of its hands a little bit of paper, maybe a small bandage, something like that.
Like the
Its hands are sort of crossed on its front. The arm had grabbed onto it, the meat of its sort of bicep, and its forearms are here. Something maybe in its wrapped grip.
Can I turn my mace around and use the handle to poke it out?
Yeah, you can.
I don't want to touch this thing.
Yeah, you're not trying to do it quickly, so yeah, after a while you sort of wedge the handle of it into its old fingers, and it just goes, just snaps open, and this you pull out this. It's an old bit of vellum, a strip of vellum. It's very delicate, very dry, and as you just very gently unroll it, it says in an old common, "What's the desire for knowledge that made us dig, and we desired too much?"
Spooky.
And with that, we go to our final pair.
Yeah, boys.
Hopefully we're not going to see any weird hands.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, so my name is Eugene. Eugene is a gnome. So he's in a sort of average height for a gnome, about 3'5".
Don't laugh at his gnomishness.
He's got sort of dark brown hair with bright green highlights at the top. Has a handlebar moustache that's also slightly dyed green at the edges. Great big nose, and wears almost sort of steampunk vibe goggles. because I suppose it's quite sandy and dusty being in the desert, he's probably got them on at the moment. And around his neck he'll have a green tartan staff. And he's wearing around his waist a leather green jacket, and then his overall sort of leather clothing is going to be brown, light tan trousers and black boots. He's got a sash around him, got loads of weird vials of weird sort of coloured stuff. You're probably not sure what they are. On his sash though, he does have an interesting sigil, which is a Ouroboros bit in a figure of 8. And also just little component pouches around his waist attached to his belt, really.
Like the snake using its sail.
Yeah, but in a figure of 8.
A sigil.
A sigil. It is a snake sigil.
So I'm playing Ora. He is human, about 6'2". You've probably seen him around with Eugene, but other than that, he's a fairly solitary figure, and it seems as though to other people he's quite imposing. He's got black hair, straight black hair that's cut an inch or two above his shoulders, and if you've been close, you'd probably see sort of grey traces amongst it. He's mid to late 30s. He's been wearing chain mail shirt with sort of a dirty grey cloak that probably was once white over the top to try and protect him from the sun, with a black square shield over his back. He's got a longsword at his right hip, and for very perceptive people, you see he has a tattoo on his left wrist of 4 black bands, sort of like a Celtic weave, and a 5th that is very faded around there. On his right bicep, he's got a tattoo of a leafless tree with sort of dream catchers hanging from the branches, and it's wreathed in leaves. He has sort of dark grey, almost black eyes, apart from a tiny fleck of sort of brown, almost honey in his right eye. Yeah.
Cool. With you guys are 2 people. One of them you know is quite friendly, called Cook. He was the cook, and then you guys ran out of food, and you've been living off of your clerics create food. And he adds spice. What he does is he says he's if you ask him, he says, "Run out of cookable food a few days ago. That's dried and cast only." And he mixes it with spices and stuff and tries to make it taste of something. And the other one you have is an orc called Dav. And
is that a half orc or a full fat orc?
No, there are no like full fat orcs in the wild. So yeah, he's just an orc. Yeah, think like Elder Scrolls.
Cool.
Orc. Yeah.
Not sponsored.
No. And
full fat orc.
but he's a half orc in rule books. But
Yeah.
he's just you would just call it. He's just an orc. And
so he's like an orc 0.
yeah, sure.
Giant orc.
You guys probably know he's a bit of an arse. You know, if even from a distance, he's clearly just an arsehole. Cook doesn't say much, so he's.
Did you say what the orc's name was?
Surprising, he's called
Dav.
Dave.
Dav.
Where's Dad?
Fantasy Dave. Fantasy Dave.
Fantasy Dave.
Fantasy Dave.
All right, Dav.
Cook is
That's not my voice.
Cook is for God's sake.
Goes around with Charlene.
Cook's a dwarf. He's got shiny hair. Cook is a dwarf. He's got a shiny bald head, a tuft of hair on his chin. He's about 5 foot, which is quite tall for a dwarf.
I love him.
And Dav, orc, wears a patchwork sort of mess of leathers, and he carries around a pick with him like he's going to actually use it, but he just doesn't seem to do much with it. And you guys actually going deepest of the 3 groups into this box. God's sake.
Too deep.
Deeper.
This is what happens when a pandemic doesn't let us play.
Yeah.
I'm just being normal.
You guys actually reach Dav ahead with the torch, Cook behind you chewing. He's just like, it's a bit of a shithole. He's got a torch ahead, and you actually get to the end of this main tunnel. It turns left, and you follow it. And you're marching for a few minutes. Dav sort of complaining. Captain Arsehole told us to find secrets. I might think he's an arsehole, but I'm hoping we find something in this one. I want to pay this fucking thing off. He points at his mark on his head.
Why did we get stuck with the prick and they get
Good old Cookie.
Anyone.
Yeah, but sure someone's fucking lying.
You punched the friend.
Did you say I punched my friend? That hand was not a friend.
It could have been a friend. You don't know.
Cook responds to Dad, just goes, yeah. Just chewing something.
But don't you both find this whole cave, fascinating? All the discoveries you can make there.
It's the same shit, different isn't it?
Who was that? Was that Cook or
That was Dad. Cook's like, yeah.
I think I see how it was last. I think the roles will be reversed.
He's like, yeah.
You don't know that. I mean, there's, I suppose around here there could be discoveries anywhere.
Dav sort of stops. You've been walking down this tunnel for a minute or so, and he turns around with his torch. He's like, if we don't find anything down here, I'm going to stab the captain myself. He turns around and carries on walking. He's gone.
Why would you do that?
He's ignoring.
Ora's just going to reach down,
Yeah, you're
put
gonna
her
set me
hand
up.
on his shoulder and just let it go. Just sort of like,
Yeah.
I didn't hear he's going to attack the captain.
Oh no, I'm only kidding, it's all, I'm just a bit fucking tired of all this shit. He like kicks the rock and Cook's like, yeah. Smells of old lizard down here. Kind of nice.
Does he know what old lizards Stop making such cursed people for me to love.
He's not cursed.
I don't know what old lizard smells like, but it does have a slight metallic musk to it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. As you guys are walking down, the walls have sort of turned to sort of speckled granite either side of you. And then every now and again you sort of see patches of a clay that's been almost sort of pasted on and dried. And there's a few carving. Actually, what are you guys doing at this point? Well,
I'm having a very interesting conversation.
or what are you doing?
Ora's just sort of following behind in silence, just sort of trying to ignore the constant bickering.
Roll a perception check for me.
Right.
Sounds like you're the one paying attention.
Oh yeah, I'm not paying any attention.
That's 3 for a 4.
Yeah, they're well and truly distracting you. Dav with his swinging the torch around every now and again, knocking it into the granite. He's not paying attention.
Do you think we'll find something, Ora?
I don't know. We'll see. We haven't been this deep in many of these tombs. I hope so.
Dav's like got his hand around one of the corpses in the side. He's like, nothing here.
Can I make an investigation check on the corpse just to see if
You can
something
indeed.
might indeed be there?
roll that
Please.
investigation. Yeah, Dav's like shoving it out of the way. He's like, fuck this.
You know there's something there.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh. As he's
So for
moved-
investigation, that will be it'll be 26.
Nice.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
The
you
clever boys.
You're
And girls.
finally sort of focusing away from Dav and Cook. Cook's sort of disengaging, and you look into the body that he sort of shoved to the side, and you actually see that there was he uncovered a bit of preserved rock where the body was laying, and on that, carved into it in the same, when you weren't there, it's in an old common, it says, praise the prophet in life and death. And you find some copper jewellery that's wrapped around the body's wrist, sort of tucked under its side. It's worth a few silver.
Ooh.
And
I pocket that.
yeah,
I sort of look. I pick it up and have a look. And like, what do you think of this?
I'll take a look. Are there any markings on it, or is it just...
did you roll an investigation check before? It wasn't
that's perception.
roll an investigation check as well.
Can't be worse, really. Not great. 12.
Wasn't worse.
As you look over it, it's got some patterns in it, but nothing that you would necessarily call runes or any language that you or anything like that. It just looks
Just
like
decorative.
a bit of copper jewelry. What are your passive perceptions?
11.
I need to write these down.
Actually, I'll just double check. I'm pretty sure it's 11.
Do you want ours as well while you're writing them down?
I haven't written them down yet.
Yeah.
11.
Perception is 11.
Okay. So as you guys are looking over this, you feel a slight breeze, maybe. Very, very faint.
What
Nothing more.
does the breeze smell like?
It's old lizard.
Oh, fair enough.
It's got a metallic mark.
So that metallic musk is sort of old lizard.
And at that point, when you feel this breeze and you look towards the direction of it, you see Dav ahead, and he's reached the end of the tunnel, and there's sort of like it's a sort of squared off wall. In the middle is a granite pillar, I'd say actually probably about 2 or 3 foot wide. This granite pillar, and on either side of it is this clay you've noticed that's been pasted on the walls in some places, and Dav sort of walks up to it.
Punches it.
He does actually. He does. He walks up with this thing and he just goes bang, and he punches the clay, and a bit goes and just falls off in a small sheet. And beneath it, you immediately see a glassy surface. It's dull, but there's something colourful about it. It's maybe just there's not enough light, and he's holding the torch up, and you see that with that torchlight, it's green maybe, or there's some mauve in there. It depends which sort of angle you look at it, and there's kind of veined with quartz.
See, I'm absolutely fascinated by this. I sort of just walk up to it and just have a real sort of
roll perception check.
That's a 19 that time. I think that would be 20, but not natural.
Nice. You see, Dav's like, hang on a minute, wait, look at this. Not seen this before. And he's holding up the torch. And with that 20, you see that there's a space inside. It's difficult to see, it's distorted by this glass, but there's a space inside made of this glass. And in the middle of the pillar, there are words which say, thy own greed shalt striketh thee down.
Is that again, sorry?
Thy own greed shalt striketh thee down.
A bit heavy.
We're absolutely boned.
As they never split the party, and the DM's already get split up.
He gave us no choice.
Dav hands out. He holds a torch out to one of you. Take this.
Or is rummaging in his bag for something at this point.
Hands it to you.
Is it quite a heavy torch?
That's the standard. You can hold it.
It's your
He takes the torch, and the second that you take all of it, he unholsters his pick, and he's like, "Right, here we go."
This is what
Bang, and he smacks into the.
Was I able to stop him beforehand? Probably not.
Roll Dex. No. What's your initiative?
What are you going to do? Tug on his trouser leg?
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, I'm on fire.
Initiative's +2.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna get into a fight with fucking Dav.
I just want to stop him from breaking it.
Dad has to go.
Yeah, you do. I mean, are you going to stop him, or are you just getting his attention?
I'm trying to take his attention. Be like, no, look at there.
He looks around at you. Nah, you going to help or not? And he just goes and swings at it.
Oh no.
If you'd have tried to stop him, maybe. Yeah, he hits.
Oh, he would have destroyed me. Squishy.
Oh, okay.
Not the squishiest son.
He swings and he bites into this pillar. It's like he's been building up all this for fucking weeks at this point, trying to get something decent. He swings it into the pillar. Bang! Chunks of granite fly off. The writing that you saw a moment ago just completely shatters the whole front of it. You gonna help or just stand there? He hits it again. I mean, he's going to hit it again. That's 10. What are you guys doing?
I'll just take forward. There was something written on it, like some sort of prophecy, maybe, or I don't know, some warning.
Somewhere. And Ora's been rummaging in his bag, and he's pulled out sort of this sort of ball that's like 2 or 3 inches in diameter, and it is one of the geodes that I picked up in the desert. Before he smashed it, was it vaguely similar or completely different?
Are you just observing to see the difference?
Just comparing sort of, because obviously I saw bigger ones. Is this something like that?
The one you're holding is darker and muddier. The clay, maybe it was because it was weathered. What would you roll? I'd say... So you're just observing, right?
Yeah, and sort of basing it on the ones that I saw in the desert a long time ago.
I don't want to make you continue rolling investigation checks, but I can't think of anything different. If you're just comparing the visuals of them, then roll an investigation check,
8.
I mean, you're literally comparing the glass to glass, so you can tell it's different. So even from a very basic standpoint, the one you're holding is darker, the colours they're not... If maybe you held the torch up to it, you could see a colour in there, but it's more like an obsidian ball. Whereas this is very much vibrant, and the colours that shift sort of opalescence when you look at it from different angles. Dav's going to swing at it again. He hits. I'm going to just make him roll a check quickly. Nope.
What
He
kind
missed
of
the wall.
check?
Yeah, he swings and he hits. I want you guys to make intelligence. I'm going to make you roll intelligence checks for me.
This is going to go well.
I'm glad I'm not there.
The sound of a whip cracks when he hits this time.
So not adding proficiency or anything, just straight intelligence roll.
Yes.
That's a natural 1.
Oh!
Wait, you still beating me? I rolled a 5 for a 4.
I would have rolled a 5 adding my intelligence.
I'll roll for Dav as well, because this is kind of all three of you guys.
What about Cook?
Guys.
Oh, of course, I forgot about Cook. He's standing watching it all
Just
happen.
going, yup! Land up against a wall. Like.
Nope.
Eating his jerky.
Fine.
Dav rolled higher than all of you guys on this intelligence. He hits, and there's a sound of this whip cracking with this pillar. And he goes...
I would have taken the hand.
And he looks up, and he's like, hang on a minute. And just as he looks up, the pillar goes... and slams to the side. And in that space, for a brief moment... How close are you standing to Dav?
I would have got quite
Probably
close.
about 10 feet away.
I said I wanted to have a look at it, so I'm probably going to be quite close.
I'm probably about 5-10 feet away.
About 10 feet, you're closest, you're with sort of 5 feet of him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, I am going to give you
Good luck to
guys
the
one
princess.
action that you can do, because it's the first session. I'm not going to be that harsh on you.
Just the one.
You see a glistening room through this pillar that's just opened up, and the moment that granite pillar falls to the side, yes, this beautiful glass room is exposed, and bits of rock fall from the ceiling. What are you going to do?
Shit yourself.
I'm going to try and grab Eugene by the back of his jacket and just pull him.
What are you going
back.
to do, Eugene? You going to fight it, or are you going to go to the...
I don't think I could if I wanted to. Stop! I told you.
So just roll a strength check for me then, or it would be athletics. If Eugene's letting you, he's not going to resist. Just a straight athletics check.
Natural 20 for a 23.
Yeah! Just put my
Is that-
back like, Eugene, you're coming with me!
I've done this before in a session 0, so it's fine.
And that's why you got a natural 20.
What Dav does with his action is he goes, got it! And he looks in for a moment, and he's like, oh. And he turns round, and as he turns round and looks at you, a block larger than the height of the tunnel crushes him instantly. His arm poking out, twitching, grabbing the pick, and the floor shifts from the weight of this. The whole tunnel trembles. The shifting of rock. Dust starts falling from the ceiling in curtains. What do you do?
So we probably need to run out of this tunnel.
Just sort of
Do you think?
You
How about
okay?
Cook? Is
You
Cook
okay?
I am very
Cook's
intelligent.
behind them watching it, cheering like, shit.
Has Eugene still got the torch? Or is that...
Yeah, I
Yes.
think
Yeah. No, you were holding it the whole time, weren't you? Because you gave that.
just on your back.
Yeah.
You two okay?
Cook's like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, I'm
He turns and runs. And we're gonna go back to the first pair. You feel the ground like this, and the ceiling. You're in this little tight pencil corner of this first tunnel. What do you do?
I'm probably gonna like look at you and be like, what do we do if there's a trouble?
You ran.
And I'm gonna run away. Yep. I'm gonna run towards like where the rock, where it sounded like it came from, or where it felt.
So
like
you guys,
towards the danger.
so you guys run.
I want to find out what happened.
You're in the front, so you guys turned off first. So you're like not as deep in as the other pairs. So you would have run out into the main sort of artery of the tunnels. And as you expose out, you know that the sound came from deeper in the tunnel. The whole thing is going. There's stuff falling from the ceiling. Lloyd's there like, I'm not scared.
we wouldn't know who went.
No.
How far? Who went down?
No, you would have known it was one of the other two groups that went in the deepest.
We don't even have it actually.
But if you guys have run into the main area now, the main tunnel,
Yeah.
then I'll quickly back to you guys to the second pairs. You're feeling exactly the same, the ground shaking.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna run. I'm not dying in here.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
so you join. So you then would probably see each other sort of as you enter the main tunnel.
Also,
These
leave
guys,
that fucking handbar.
these guys.
I blame
oh no,
her.
I mean you
I did
booted
get
it
a
across
back
the room,
scratch.
right?
Yeah.
You bunched it across the room. It's
Yeah.
not moving.
Quick cursory glance around the room. Nothing shiny.
No, it's getting dull. The air's filled with dust.
All right,
as it's
leave.
falling.
Yeah, go.
And you would probably both reach the enter the main artery of the tunnel at the same time. You're closer to the entrance. You guys are in the middle, and you'd probably all now at this point be at your respective points. You guys deepest in the tunnel. The whole ground is sort of going dust. Chunks of rock start falling from the ceiling. There's a hanging oil lantern at the front of the tunnel, closest to you guys, that would have been put up by the team, and it's like swinging side to side. Like, what are you gonna do?
Did we see them come out as
Yeah.
well?
Yes, they're deeper
Okay,
in the
so-
tunnel. Yeah, they're quite deep in. You probably just can see their torch.
Okay, but we see
Yeah.
them coming.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm just running towards
Everyone
the
out!
Okay.
Go!
So you guys running down the main tunnel, you're just all running, dust sort of like in your eyes. The lantern ahead of you falls and shatters in a blaze of oil, fire. It's like a blaze now. The exit is about 20 feet past it, and you guys probably reach this wall of fire, and it's blocking between the exit now.
Oh, cool.
How? Oh,
Great.
Do you want to?
No, I don't have anything for that.
So let's talk.
I was just gonna say.
Water doesn't.
Water.
Flask on the water.
So let's talk about thaumaturgy for a second.
Okay, yeah.
You cause flames to flicker, brighten, or dim. Can I make them dim?
Yeah, well,
If we
if
work
we both
together.
did it, yeah.
I would say if you guys can roll Arcana checks for me
Sisters are doing it
to try
together.
and combine and manipulate the use of this cantrip.
That we're doing collectively.
The exit's looming for you
Probably
guys
it's double
now. And you can
zero,
see it
so.
through the fire.
What?
Okay, that's not a 1, that's a 7. 13.
Big old 6.
Okay. I would say, I mean, if you guys cast it together, you could probably make it flicker for a moment, just so that you both could jump through at the same time, and maybe
Just
it
leave
would
everyone
reduce
behind.
the heat for a very brief moment.
Well, if it's only that,
Last began adventures
I-
of Moxie and Sentinel.
Well, I mean, we are resistant to fire. Let's just
Okay.
fucking run.
Why
not? We can't do anything about it or get you out.
It's
Unless-
like
can
an
maybe
oil,
yeet
just so
you
you guys
to-
are like I'm not gonna just so you guys know what it looks like. It's not like an actual blazing inferno. It's from an oil lantern, so it's like a small fire that maybe comes up to sort of like your waist height.
Alright.
Or my
You know?
neck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump over that.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
you
jump,
could-
jump,
you could
jump.
probably jump. Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
I'm
jump
s-
in.
you guys will get you guys together first because you did this cantrip thingy. Roll your either acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer.
13.
Yeah.
Nice.
15.
Okay, you both succeed. You don't take any fire damage. You jump and you make it over. Who's next? You guys are closest, so
Yeah,
we'll go
I'm
with you.
gonna like sprint and then properly jump like.
Okay, athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
That will be a 20, not a natural.
Very nice.
Basically so.
Yeah. I also do it in slow-mo.
That is a
Nice.
20, not natural.
Very nice. You both do
I
the
copy
same.
her.
Uh,
I do it almost exactly the
you
same.
both do the same, and you don't take any damage either. And finally, you guys at the back.
Is the thorn surgery still damping it down?
No,
as we
it would
get
have
there?
reduced the damage if they'd failed, but it was
Okay.
only a cantrip, so it was literally
Okay.
just gonna for them, yeah. But
Have they just disappeared off now?
We wouldn't have run that far away.
No,
We'll
you-
wait to check.
Yeah.
Am I still being carried?
It does last for a bit anyway.
No.
Oh no.
Thaumaturgy,
No.
whatever you want to call it.
I think we're bending it a little bit, but
Ora's going to pull the cloak off and try to throw it over the fire and damp it down.
Smart.
how many pairs health and safety between us? How many times have we seen like a health and safety video?
Yeah, but how many times have our characters?
Yes, very true.
I don't think there's health and
Okay,
safety.
I've got a backstory.
Yeah,
I might have been through one.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You take off your cloak. You just smother the fire. It's like burning the cloak. Smoke sort of creeping up the side of the
Just
walls.
enough to jump
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, and Cook just goes, cheers! Just runs. Yeah, what are you guys following straight
Yeah.
over? You going to try and...
I'll go last.
You taking the cloak
I'll
with you?
go last. Is there any light other than the fire in there?
No, but as you whip the slightly singed cloak off the floor, you guys look around, and through the rest of the rest of your new little group, you see the exit looming, blinding desert light shining through, sand that's now sort of cascading in, but just before it on the left, there is a poof, and the wall erupts inwards. It doesn't block the exit, but a new tunnel has appeared.
Spice.
The sides are cracked, and inside it sort of has an aurora glow just on the side of the broken wall that's just been exposed.
Is it similar to what we just saw?
You would say yes. As you see this, Cook's just fucking sprinting through everyone, and as he reaches near the exit, one of the front pillars begins to sort of
Oh, not Kirk.
go.
Oh
No, Cook makes it through. He's just gone. He's straight out. And Loit goes, I laugh in the face of danger! And he runs straight down the new tunnel.
Oh! We're all going out! Everyone leave! Everyone leave!
Friends, adventure!
The shiny stuff doesn't look anything like the vitrium that we found.
Roll a
Check.
some sort of check. Just a straight intelligence check, I guess.
I will not help you there. That's fucking pointless.
A 2.
It's hard to say. In the moment, it's hard to say. It's almost like there's light shining through something and casting this aurora-like glow. Almost like when light hits a swimming pool or like a body of water and it reflects onto a wall. It looks a bit like that. What are you guys doing?
I can't abandon that prick.
Yeah, no, I kind of can't.
I'll be
either.
part of his story.
I'm gonna be real mad.
I'm yeeting after
How
him.
far down is he?
Oh, he's just... I mean, in that space of time, he's probably 30 feet.
Is the whole thing still shaking?
Yes. And the front entrance, Cook's gone through, but the front pillar to the exit is now sort of buckling.
How narrow is the tunnel?
It's a similar width to the one you're in at the moment. It's about between 5 and 10 feet wide.
Are we staying or are we going?
You guys, what are you
We
doing?
gotta get him. We
Yeah, we
gotta
gotta
get
get
him.
him
Okay, you guys go down the new tunnel
I'll just go wherever
And then I
Aura
follow.
goes.
with a sigh. And you enter this new tunnel, and what is it? Just a mad scramble through?
Yeah.
It sounds like
Probably.
it.
The last
How much
moment,
light have we got with us?
the light of
in
this
there?
this new glow is lighting the way a little bit. The second that you enter, there's a as the exit crumbles in. The light behind you completely blacked out, and you're now standing with your respective torches. I think you still had all the torches.
Still got my
'cause you were
torch.
11. And this new sort of greenish aurora glow, and just for a moment, you're just standing there in this cool silence.
I will.
Dust is
Draw
really
my
choky
long
at the moment.
I'll draw my long sword, and as I do, run a hand down the blade, and the well of the sword begins to glow orange.
Ooh. Nice.
A light.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, have we all stopped like in the tunnel?
Yeah, you're at the mouth. It's quite with Aura's sword, clears a little bit of some of the dust that's choking the air, and just a few seconds after some of it fades a bit, and you can gather your senses.
Can we see light? Like anywhere?
He's just further down this tunnel. It sort of descends down a shallow angle, and he's down there holding the torch.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy again to make my voice go up to 3 times as loud as normal. We're like, light! You come out of the tunnel? I'm probably not gonna go 3 times as loud, but I'm gonna make it louder and be like,
2.5.
light, fucking stop!
He drops the torch, and he's like, "I'll tell you, I can't see! Gods, they've taken my eyes! They've taken my eyes!" He's just hunched over, and you can see from a distance he's literally got his eyes closed. He's like,
Right.
I'm gonna walk up to him and like very lightly give him like a slight kick.
Not a punch.
Just to be like, get off the fucking floor, you wimp.
Do you accidentally kill him?
You're not trying to hurt him. He just
No.
he opens his eyes and clears them. There's like the tears of like dust, where his eyes are all clogged with dust. He's like, "Oh,
Are you crying?
it's you."
Are you crying?
What? He picks up his torch.
You're actually crying.
I thought you
Don't
weren't
be
scared
stupid.
of
He's
anything.
crying.
Where's Dav? And where's
Oh,
Cook?
as soon as you say that, I just throw up in the corner.
Oh no!
Cook is gone, and Dav is gone in a different way.
What do you mean?
He perished.
Dav was
Just with like
Way to
bits
rip
of vomit
that.
as you're smiling, you perish.
He's just got sick on his lips.
It's stuck in the moustache.
Dav
Yeah.
was the one that caused the chaos.
Perished. Was it bad?
It was
Yes.
quick.
Oh, thank God.
It must have hurt. I'm pretty sure that would be incredibly painful. But
Well,
wasn't there thinking about.
he kind of had it coming.
I mean, he
So
did.
the rest of us have
Lloyd, you've lost talking privileges for the next 5 minutes.
I mean, he did cause all of this.
Looks around.
Okay, so anything still shaking, or are we
No.
safe?
It's stable for now.
I'm
Safe.
shaken.
Yeah.
I cast thaumaturgy and do little tremors.
Deep breath.
You feel that
I just go.
Are you trying to fool everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a deception check.
I'm pretty sure I'm fooled.
So that's a 7.
So what do you do?
I mean,
had this
like not subtly at all. I just cast thaumaturgy.
I just really pointedly go, oh, so scary.
like. "Whoa."
I was like,
So what happened?
We found a granite pillar, and it was like that aurora back there, sort of glass, and Dav decided to hit it with his pickaxe a few times.
Can we see where the
We tried to stop him.
aurora thing came from?
Roll an investigation check. In fact, I'll tell you for that one for free for now while you're rolling. You can see there's a vein in the ceiling. It's like a chunk of thick glass. It's like half bonded and flowing with the granite in a very geological way. The black and white flecks of the granite sort of have this pattern, almost like it was once flowing, and the glass is in the middle of it. And who is from Dustmere?
Yep.
So you three roll just straight intelligence checks, and you roll
Got a
your
natural 20 for that.
Yes, you fucking did.
very nice.
liking about this.
So
Straight intelligence.
you
Nice.
haven't seen any of this glass before, have you? But you have seen the vitrium.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at this, the colours for a moment remind you of that vitrium when you're shining light through it. So there was something about the vitrium where it looked very mundane, and then when you shone light through it, it had that strange shifting of colours, and it's similar to that. but the vitrium seems ever so slightly more brittle, more fibrous. And what did you guys get for your intelligence checks?
Tasty 19.
Yeah.
18 total.
16.
Nice.
Some
Okay.
tasty rolls.
You guys recognize this kind of glass from the Molterite Square in Dustmere, which is near the government buildings. And in the middle of that square, there is a fountain. And it's a sort of sinewy statue that's made out of this chunk of glass, almost like an organic shape. And it's called a Molterite Obelisk. It's a remnant from something that happened in the desert, and it was dug up, and some people collect them. They look a bit like, some of them have a bit like a weird shape, like molten statues in a way, but it reminds you of that. And there is light shining through this one from possibly a light well above it. And you guys, Lloyd, sort of lingering down the bottom of the tunnel. It carries on for a sort of it looks like it carries on for hundreds of feet. What do you guys do?
It looks like Molterite.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Well, there's only one way to go.
Looks sort of like the thing that we got there.
Cool.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I concur.
Cool.
Let's go down the tunnel.
There's only one way we can go.
Yep. Down.
As you guys follow Lloyd for a while, you start going lower and lower, and you eventually meet a fork.
I was just gonna say.
Is this the type of place where there would be traps?
Maybe.
Has Eugene still got like vomit in his mouth?
Yeah. You
Oh,
can.
if that's the case,
Roll-
Can I
I'd probably
perceptively
choose
look for traps?
Oh, instead of investigate,
That's what I was
investigatory.
Yeah.
Oh, go on, you can.
Yeah.
I'd say you can roll a perception check if you like. Yeah.
19.
Okay. So
Tasty.
as you see a few more of these strange glass shapes, nothing as big as that one. It's quite a natural carved tunnel, and the floor has been worked into a flat surface by someone. It doesn't seem like there's any traps or any maybe pressure plates you look for. You don't see anything like that, or any tripwires or anything like that. But you do eventually reach a fork, and it's quite simply a left or a right.
What does each side smell like?
Old lizard.
What
Standard.
directions do the forks seem to be going in?
The
Like each
left
prong.
The left one goes slightly up, and the right one continues going in the same sort of downward trajectory.
Is there like a breeze from any of them? You know, like
Ye-
Gandalf?
Yeah, you rolled your
Breezy
quite high perception.
Gandalf.
Let's
Yeah.
carry over that one.
Good old
There's a very,
breezy
very
Gandalf.
faint breeze that seems to be coming from the right one and then through down up to the left one.
So it's coming up from
Up
the down
from the right
one.
and then up, down through to the left one.
And the
Very
left one
faint.
is one that goes slightly up,
Yes.
right? Okay. So it's coming up.
Maybe it goes down. Maybe it's a hill. Maybe it's a trick. The
You
ends
bend
are-
like a toilet.
Let's go down the U-bend.
Description.
Well,
Name of the episode.
How long do you think we have here?
we have to find an exit.
Otherwise, forever.
Well,
For the rest of our lives.
is it steep
Might
up
not be
or
very
down?
long.
It's about the same sort of rise as it is a fall, left to right.
Do you really think we'll be stuck in here forever?
I'm joking.
I'll pull
Oh,
out
it's not a particularly
a
funny joke.
compass from my belt and just
Nice.
I'll pull out
Prepared.
the compass
Uh-huh.
from, and it's this sort of wooden pentagonal box with sort of a dome top. Open it up, and there's a silver compass inside it. Which sort of direction does each head?
In terms of north and south.
Yeah.
Well, this cliff, when you entered the cliff, let me just get my bearings right. It's going to be facing. You're facing east, and the left one would go slightly northeast, and the right one would go slightly southeast.
Okay.
Do you know which way is out? Which direction is out? Surely it's up, right?
Are you guys standing at the fork right now, or are you're just standing between the two, right?
Yeah.
It's just the breeze from down below, but
Well, I think we should just go in 2 separate parties, and one of us can go right and the other one
Has
can
it
go
been
left.
5 minutes, Lloyd? Has it been 5 minutes?
Lloyd,
Yeah,
Lloyd,
maybe.
No.
which way do you want to go?
Well,
No talking, just indicate you're still on a talking ban.
roll an intimidation check.
Oh. It's a +5 to my intimidation. But a 2 on the dice! 7!
I laugh in the face of danger, and trust me when I say you're not particularly dangerous. Oh, he looks around like this. I
I'm
think we
gonna
should
slap
go.
him. I'll fucking slap this bitch.
Do you slap him?
I'll slap
Oh,
him!
Christ. Roll an attack.
That's a
Actually, okay,
13
that
plus.
Humorous.
A fucking prick.
Yes.
But
But then it is Lloyd.
15.
Just hits.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just a
Maybe it's
1
annoying.
damage and it's just a
Well, we
slap.
kind of
It's just a
laughed
ouch!
with him, I suppose.
We're stuck here. Be nice.
Fine. If we weren't trapped in here, then. And he just sort of loses words. And then he just walks, he storms off left. And then. I don't want to walk off on my own again. Where are we? I'm going to go left. Where are we going?
Which way was left? Down.
Up.
Yes.
Then I feel like we should go right.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do the opposite, but we can't
You're not
leave
the
him.
only
He's
one.
correct.
Yeah.
Can I like poke my head around the tunnel and be like, we're going this way, Lloyd, follow us.
Well, what if it's the wrong way?
Then
Why
we'll
don't we
come
just go
back.
both
Well, then
ways?
at least we're all together.
Fine. He comes with
I
you.
feel really good. I feel so good.
Do you feel like we should
That
leave
looked really good.
Trail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trail.
That's a fantastic idea, so we can find our way back out if we need to. Although
Well, I've got
we are
50.
trapped here, so would we need to come back?
Who's
this
got
way?
hemp rope?
I've
I
got
would
some
say
sick
with
I have
your-
hemp rope.
With your perception as well from earlier, Sarah, sorry, Freya, you can see the left tunnel. There are carvings ahead on the wall that have been patterned into the granite. The right one seems like a more natural cavern, but that's all you can see from here. Then the right one narrows to a single file walkway further down if you were to shine the torch, whereas the left one you can see sort of patterns on it.
Right.
How about a couple of us go 100 feet down, see if it turns, see if we can hear anything, see anything, and
Do you think it's
Then
wise
just come
to
back.
split up?
Oh.
So yeah, I pick up Ansel. I was like, actually, I could send Ansel down, and then I could like look for his eyes, and we can see he can scout ahead for us.
That's a real good shout.
sounds like a plan to me.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Setting the fucking
Camp
camp.
for
Send the
it.
cat. Send the fucking cat. Which way are you sending him? Left is the route with the. It depends if Freya said about what she saw actually. So it's either left
I'm
goes
like
up.
stroking the wall. Like,
Yeah.
no,
So-
like
oh, like
feeling it out.
yeah.
Investigating it.
Yeah. Left.
It's very wall.
Oh wow. Left goes up slightly, and Freya's sort of stroking a pattern on the wall, and right goes down and narrows into a sort of single file tunnel.
Looks like this is man-made.
Yeah, those carvings don't look natural. I'm not very intelligent, but I can tell that.
Well, if it's man-made, I suppose it goes somewhere.
But it doesn't help in any way. Were they trying to go down or were they trying to get out?
We know someone went down there.
What were
Oh,
the other
before I
caverns
can-
like? The ones from before? Did they have
Nothing
the
like
carvings?
this.
None of them had the
No.
carvings?
They would sometimes have carvings on the crypts where, similar to the ones that you'd seen in Old Common, where the desert people buried them, wrapped them, embalmed them, but nothing actually carved and patterned into granite. These are almost like interweaving vines
Right.
to the left.
Should we go that
I
way?
think we should go. We should go this way. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Do we want to still send Ansel
You still
scouting?
your fingers.
right.
You sending
Yeah.
Ansel left then
I do.
before you go, or are you
My
going?
toes.
Are you sending Ansel left first, or are you going left,
Are we sending out some
or are you going right?
And then go,
Which-
we go left. But we send. Or should we just go left?
So which way is the man-made way?
Left.
Left. Do we want to send Ansel in front
Yes,
on
Okay.
the left way, and then we'll just go behind, and I'll just
Can you just like walk with your eyes
I'll
like
piggyback.
holding?
yeah,
Alright,
just
cool.
someone. Yeah.
piggyback.
Yes, I won't be able to see or hear anything, so I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
anything's going wrong, just give me a slap and then
How
I'll come
far?
out of it.
How far ahead are you sending him?
I think it's up to 100 feet. How far ahead can I see? Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you see in
Yeah.
the dark?
Yeah, it's cat. Yeah.
Well,
He has dark vision, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
cats have dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
cat.
surely.
Cats have dark
Actually,
vision in the
maybe.
real
Oh
world.
no, that is a point.
I've got a feeling. I don't know if they do.
No, they
You
don't,
strap a torch
actually.
to
I will reach down, scratch the ears, sort of run a hand over the back, and the sword goes dark, and the tip of the tail begins to glow.
Oh, and as he waggles his
so
tail,
good.
like the cat sort of like little sway, it just changes the wall, the lighting on the wall every time. Like
I
that's a
see.
little
I see
swaying
Steve
light.
be able to. Sorry, Ora be able to do that and look a little bit pissed off because my sword doesn't do that.
So Ansel trots off down up the left route, and Moxie,
Cheers, Ora.
your eyes glaze over, do they?
Yeah.
And you are no longer able to hear or see anything, but you are in Ansel's paws, shall we say. So, he carries on for a sort of up to 100 feet.
It's just 100 feet ahead of us, basically. Entirely.
Roll a perception check.
Cool.
Are you going to follow him behind as a group if he goes further than 100 feet?
Yeah,
Yes.
slowly.
Yeah.
Cool. So perception check. Ooh, that's a good cat. 21.
Good kitty.
Very nice. So he reaches that limit of 100 feet, and I guess you sort of notified everyone that you're going to have to start wandering forward, and you move forward a little bit with him. And another 50 feet pass, and he reaches a square room, about 30 feet wide on either side. And in the middle is a 20-foot wide pit that's about 15 feet deep. And around the edges of that are 4 creatures that you know as husks, and they've been following. They're docile, like they're corpses, but they're very docile, and they don't really do anything. Sometimes, like the camps, you have to dig pits at the entrances to stop them wandering in. They're not really a threat to you. They're just a pest. And these ones are standing around this pit, and he sees that they're actually covered in dust, like they've been standing there for a very, very long time. But in the pit, you got 21.
Yes.
There is another husk laying down, and it's sort of in a few inches of sand, and it's just slowly sinking away the sand into a gap that's maybe recently opened, like a sand timer. All of the sand has drained away, and it's left a single other husk laying there. It has shattered legs, and it's sort of half in this big opening that most of the sand has drained away through, and he hears a sort of very distant roaring sound, like.
Yeah, so I come out and I relay all of that to everyone, exactly the way you just said it.
Most poetic.
Flawless.
Yes. So yeah, there's a room, and there's some husks in there, and then there's a pit, and there's another husk in the bottom of that pit.
Did that husk have an arm? Did you notice?
Did the husk coming off?
It was laying. It had shattered legs. You saw one arm, and it was almost like the arm. You couldn't see the other arm because it was inside this rent in the floor, and it's.
Oh no!
You tell you what, over 21, he would have seen, and it depends how much detail you want to relay. It was where the other husks are normally quite reminiscent of what they were as a person. They're just sort of very papery skinned. They look human or humanoid, whatever they were before. This thing is like, it was a twisted looking creature. Its head was sort of snapped back. It had these bone-like roots sprouting from its neck and up into its jaw.
Level.
Its ribs are sort of a cage of these bone roots.
It's fine, punching does stuff.
Yeah.
Only for you.
And you would have noticed. I mean, if you wouldn't have, depends how long you lingered. There may have been some writing on the walls or something like that, or maybe there were a few scraps of things in the sand in the pit, but that was it.
Yeah, so the husk in the middle, it's not like it's weird. It's very scary. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Love
It's
it.
kind of like like crusty and viney and bony. It's crusty.
Crusty jugglers.
So do we want to go near it?
Yeah.
It does sound pretty
If there's-
scary.
But if there's information there, if there's secrets there.
Were there any relics?
Oh, don't tell me with information.
I mean, yeah, there could have been something on the walls or.
We know it's not been. No one's been in here. It's only just
Yeah, no,
opened
very
up
true.
for a long time.
Think of how, like, if that's useful to us, that's all of our debts done and
Gotta
us
pay these
off.
off somehow. Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea to
Husks
me.
aren't
Do we want to
that
make a
dangerous.
Yeah, it'll be
You could-
alright.
They are very scary.
I like pull out my sword just like a little bit, like this, and then just like hold it there because I'm like,
How far away are we?
Yeah, probably.
You're about 100 feet because you're staying behind Ansel, right?
Can we sneak?
You
Yeah.
can indeed.
If you want to stealth.
Are you going left then, right? Up to where Ansel was just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us some stealth checks then, people.
Here comes the disadvantage.
Oh,
Nice.
Like,
Oh, I could have.
One was a 19.
Oh,
The other was an 8 for a 9.
tasty.
Could be worse.
17.
Balls. Gotta remember I have that.
I miss not being stealthy. 7.
8.
yeah, 9 as well.
Oh, fuck me!
Looks like we're fighting.
A 6.
Me just like stealthing
We need
through.
two. We need 2 real high ones.
Accidental thaumaturgy to amplify.
Slip of a thaumaturgy.
Hopefully they hear us. And just
What did you guys
run
get?
off.
Did you tell me?
I got a 17.
Yeah, that's all right.
That was
Carrying the party.
16.
Okay. I mean, that 17's not enough to pull it
No,
down.
it's not!
So, you guys are trying to be stealthy.
What about
I mean, these
Lloyd? How
creatures
did Lloyd do?
Oh, yeah!
Did Lloyd get a 20?
Oh, boy!
He's already run in there.
What even is his stealth?
He falls over.
Imagine if Lloyd got a natural 20 and saved us
He
all.
won 18.
Ooh!
Probably still not enough, though.
No, it's not.
I mean, these creatures could be dead.
I mean, let me just check something.
Have they
For
got
a
a
brief moment.
disadvantage against...
They're lying
Oh,
down.
okay.
Oh no.
One's got no legs.
Yeah. This is actually going to be really close.
oh.
Oh.
Oh, help me.
Squeaky bum time. Crusty jugglers.
Okay. Did you guys get anyone lower than a 7?
Yes.
7.
9.
Mate, there was a 6 somewhere, wasn't there?
Yeah, I
A
got
6. Okay. Damn, that's such a shame.
No.
So basically, it would have, yeah. Anyway, you probably think that you're doing an okay job. It's very echoey in here. Maybe you're just like, it's probably just amplifying all the sounds around us. Yeah, and Amaya sneezes, the dust's just, you're doing a decent job, and then there's just a little,
If only it wasn't so dusty.
and you hear a distant,
Oh fuck.
This is not a good place.
Nope.
are you continuing? As you make your way, that check would have taken you up there, I guess, and then you sneeze just as you're about to move in. The husks
Yep.
around the hole sort of just go,
Oh no.
and then just look back down, sort of swaying. But the one in the middle its arm is like pushing itself up into the sand to try and look round. His jaw is like snapped back. His head is all sort of at the wrong angle. Is missing an arm the moment that it turns around.
Okay. Amaya
Theory
draws her
confirmed.
sword.
It's about in the pit. The pit's about 20 feet wide, and it's about a 10-foot drop into the pit.
Do you want me
I'm
to
still
go,
pulling out my
because I'm
sword.
pretty stealthy, do you want me to stealth in and try and see if there's, like, survey?
I mean, it
What's
knows
around
you're there
you,
now.
mate?
Oh, it does,
Yeah.
everything knows we're there, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to be trapped in this. Actually, no. Do we want to make them? If we're in this tunnel, only one can come out through at a time, but also only one person can hit them at a time.
This is true.
It moves up with its one arm and its legs. It takes it a moment to stand. Its legs are clearly just destroyed, but it gets up onto its legs and stumbles over and just sort of runs into the wall at your feet. And it's looking up at you, sort of going,
It only has one arm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
What are the other ones doing?
the other husks are doing what they do. They just sort of stand there looking at it.
Can I glean anything magical from the weird roots situation?
You're casting something?
No, just one look.
I guess, are you going to move up close to it? Because you're in a dark room. You do have dark vision, I guess.
That's dark room.
Where's the cat? Yeah,
Yeah,
where's
cat's
the cat?
tail is still lit up.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's
If you want to investigate the roots, you're going to have to get closer.
Oh.
It's like reaching up, so it's a 10-foot thing, so its fingers are probably just brushing a couple of feet away from the top. And you guys are at the entrance.
No.
So it's actually out of view for you at the moment because you're standing and it's so far below you. You need to move forward.
How far away is it?
If you guys are at the entrance, it's about 10 feet away.
Right, okay.
There's like that ring around the side that's about 5 foot wide. The other husks are standing on it, just standing motionless.
I'm gonna cast Hex on it.
Okay. What does that do?
So, I place a curse on a creature that you can see within range, so I deal extra damage, but the target has disadvantage on ability checks with a chosen ability.
Okay.
And I think I want it to have disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay.
Ah, yeah. Good.
So it
Yeah.
can't get out.
That's good. And with that, it does start sort of like mangled legs. You can hear it sort of jumping and scrabbling at the side.
Can I crawl up to the edge? And the next time its arm reaches up, can I just like go
Gotcha.
down, just like
What are you doing?
slice
What
it?
are you? Because you both said you were going to approach, right? So what are you both going to do? That's what you're going
I'm
to do.
crawling.
You're crawling.
Up to
What are you doing, Freya?
Can I ready a guiding bolt for if it gets up and out?
If it manages to get out.
Yeah.
Okay, you know you burn the spell, right?
What's the cantrip?
Oh, is it? I think this might be a level 1 spell.
Oh yeah, it is.
Pretty sure
I need
Yeah.
sacred flame.
Sacred Flame. Okay.
Already a hand axe.
The throw.
Yeah.
Cool. And this is if it gets out.
If the ones around the side make an aggressive move towards us.
Okay. All right. So then,
Yeah, I'm gonna just pull my wand up, tap another holster, and do my mage armor on me.
nice, awesome. What does that look like?
So it's like tap on the holster, and just like this sort of like pink like sort of shimmer just sort of like radiates from there, and
Like that, like lint flame. You know when you
Yes.
see like on a t-shirt, like covers over her completely, in a lovely, beautiful way. Okay, so you're going to try and cut its arm off as
The
it is.
next time it tries to reach up to scramble out,
Yeah.
I would like to like kind of swing and just like
Okay, right. I'm going to give it a disadvantage check. It's going to try and climb out. It only has one arm, but it has got its legs, I guess.
They were shattered.
Okay. It leaps. You see the fingers grab onto the top, and it's like, and in that moment you see like the fingers of, there's like these vines have just protruded through. It's like bone and root and gnarled, just horrible, and then it falls. It tries again. Okay, that's better.
It doesn't get out. We just can like throw
That's an
shit
11.
at it until it dies.
And so it leaps, and this time it manages to jump higher, and it grabs. Its like wrist actually gets over the top, and you think that it's got purchase, and it starts heaving itself up.
I'm going to swing my sword and like over
Roll
the
an
edge.
attack and roll with disadvantage because you're targeting its wrist.
That's a 12. Oh, 9.
And 9 misses, I'm afraid.
Hit.
So is he using your actual sword?
No, sword.
So you've dropped, yeah. So in the moment you change your mind, you dropped it back in the sheath, quickly drew the long sword and swing it down. swang. You swing it down. I hope that's my only one. You swing it down. There's sparks fly and light the room. It tries to jump again. That's an 11. Again, leaps up, same again. The wrist over the top. It starts pulling itself up. I'm going to give it a strength check to try and climb up. Are you going to try again?
Can I?
Yeah, if you want.
Don't forget to do the strength checks with disadvantage.
He is.
Making sure you don't
He
forget.
is. Got him here. You can do it again. I'll let you do it again if you want.
Is his hand over the edge like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just going to go for the wrist like that.
Yeah, it's still a disadvantage because it's a cooled shot. You're trying to attack a specific part of its body.
Oh, 2 9s, so that'll be a 13.
Hits. You swing down, and just as it would have made it up. Just as it pulls itself up, and you see this beginning of a head that's like snapped back and twitching. The eyes are no longer there. There are just these roots poking through. Just and the hand just lops off into the sand, and the hand's like twitching on the side.
Aside from that, do I tell you the damage?
I mean, what did you roll? Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, it.
Cool.
In fact, no, it didn't die. They almost did. And it's rolling around on the floor without any arm. Well, it's got one arm, no hand.
Right.
Dude.
Well, now can I look over and like
can.
have a look see?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
You grabbing it?
Grabbing it?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Like the hand?
Yeah. Shake his hand.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
I just like prod it with my foot.
Okay. So what are you trying to figure out about it?
Like what? Why it's a weird husk? Like,
Okay,
What's going
Why
on
it's
here?
so weird.
Yeah. Why is it? That wasn't on purpose.
That wasn't a real roll.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Wow, I'm gonna put this dice somewhere else. 8.
It's not like anything that you, in your studies, you would have definitely heard of sort of things that go wrong when in magic, right? Are like strange effects, the manipulation of diseases, and that sort of those sort of dark arts that are very much frowned upon. But you've never really seen anything or heard of anything specifically like this. This is the first time that you would have seen this out in the desert. The husks are very, very docile. That's typical. All you can discern about this is it's neither bone nor root. It's sort of something in between. And there's definitely something magical about it. It doesn't look like a disease. I mean, it's reanimating these bodies.
Can I start looking, because you said there was like papers and stuff and writing on the wall and stuff. Can I start investigating?
In the pit.
Was there writing on the wall, or was it just in the bottom bit?
There's some junk in the pit, but there are some carvings. So if you roll an investigation check.
Thank you. Hang on.
Sometimes we don't really try and read anything.
Investigation. That's a
This is
13.
true.
13. You see they're in a sort of strip among the vine patterns that there's been carved in. There is a strip of writing, and it repeats and it says, "By the blood of sand and flesh of man, by their faith I remaineth damned. My own prophet, my own dust, my own soul I entrust."
Right. That was great. Can we repeat that slower so that the scribes can take that down? By the blood of
One more
man.
time. By the blood of sand.
Oh shit! Not even of man. Fuck. By the blood of sand
And the flesh of man.
and the flesh of man.
By faith I remaineth damned.
I remain here.
Mm-hmm. My own prophet.
Wait.
Oh, guys.
Yeah.
This is recorded, right?
Mine own prophet.
Mine own.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
prophet.
It is on a recording.
Shut.
Mine own dust. Mine own soul I entrust.
Wow.
This
That's
is an oldie
fucking dope.
worldy language.
And Lloyd's like, he's just fucking wandering off down the other tunnel now. He's like, nope, there is no adventure here, only dead things.
Right.
Do I-
He's dead to me. He's fucking dead to me.
when it jumped up, did I get a chance to see its neck?
Sure. What were you trying to discern about the neck?
Is there anything familiar on the neck?
Roll a perception check.
What have you been doing in these tunnels?
Hickeys.
14
What does Steve
plus
know about necks that we don't?
15 total.
Told you he's a vampire.
No, the flesh is very much dried, and it's very difficult to sort of see it. You know what you're looking for, but you'd got a good look at it, and it wasn't there. There was no markings on its neck other than just these roots that are sprouting.
Other thing, How close to the edge are we?
You guys are about 100 miles away from the edge. This is
100 miles?
This is the black sphere on the horizon.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant
Oh, yeah.
You're 100 miles.
It's like,
Sorry.
it's right there, dude.
I'm looking at it.
Do I remember any discussions about this sort of thing?
Roll a history check.
14 total.
Nothing comes to mind in terms of things that you would be so the talkings that you would be thinking of, they're all about potential threats that come through right into our world. And even though that you know and you're familiar with their class system at the Edge Watchers, there really isn't anything that fits this. The closest thing that you've heard of would be the familiar thing that you were trying to discern whether or not it was this, right? It doesn't remind you of that. And this is more of what you would probably call among you a curse that's not of the Edge. It doesn't have that same quality. No, but that's probably all I could give you. There's no specific knowledge or like lore that you would know about it.
Okay. Who is the beefiest of the boys?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Amaya.
Amaya, right. So what I'm going to do... Shenanigan time. I'm going to get my 50 foot of hempen rope. I'm going to tie it around my waist. Nice and tight. Well, not like tight so that I die, but like secure.
Secure, yeah.
I'm going to do a spell that looks suspiciously like Eldritch Blast, but no, it's definitely not Eldritch Blast.
What does it look like?
It's like, is it actually got shit? It's a like pew of crackling like brown, and it sucks up some of the dust, and it just like fires into it.
Awesome.
Into the husk on the thingy. I'm like, it's nap time for you.
Roll an attack.
Do you need me to hold on to the
It's
rope?
rolling.
Is that what you
Shit!
It's laying down. Roll advantage
Oh, thank you, Jesus, because
because
that
you're
was.
above it. You're standing above it, and it's
That's
like,
better. That's a 19 on the dice.
Technically, it should have been disadvantage, but because of the angle, you're sort of looking down, and it's laying on the floor. So yeah.
That was a 19 on the
Yeah, that
dice. Yeah, and then we're just gonna do a cheeky little bit of it's a D10. Which one's the 10? I can't.
Spinning top.
Spinning top. I'm just finding that
I think you have too many dice.
it's only 2 damage. Is it?
Yeah, that's it. It was hanging on by a thread.
It's gone to sleep.
So
Night.
what do you shoot it in the head?
Yeah.
Cool. For a brief moment, some of the dust in the air clears, and it's almost sucked into a little ball, and then just bolts straight into its head. And this sort of dry root and skull just scatters everywhere. The spine is sort of smashed open like a banana peel.
Tasty.
And it is dead.
And then I hand the end of the rope to Amaya, and I'm like, don't let me fall! And I'm gonna yeet myself into the,
Right.
into the
It
pit.
takes me like a couple of seconds to work out why she's just handed me this rope.
And just get yanked towards it.
And
Roll-
then
I would hold on if I
my
was you.
my reflexes kick in at literally the last second.
Roll
Well, I don't imagine it's like that much. It's mostly in case it's like I start falling through that I'm worried about. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a solid floor, so I don't want to die.
Well, you're jumping down, so roll either an acrobatics or athletics check.
Swan diving.
First character death.
Straight
Full
up.
damage.
Acrobatics, yeah, that's a 13.
Yeah, so
Plus, it's no pike position.
the sand is very thin now. It's basically all drained away, and you just land, bang, straight down, normal. A little bit of a shock through the knees, 10 feet, but it's fine.
Do I keep a hold of the rope? Like, what happens with this rope?
Yeah, I guess you just let it feed through, and then you've now got it.
Cool.
And then I just want to investigate like what's down here.
I shout down, do you want me to keep you on the lead, or should I take it off?
That one was funny.
Thank you.
I am also laughing at the moment, like,
Roll,
keep me on, please.
roll an investigation
So
check.
I like walk around.
It's like 50
On the other end
foot.
of the
There's loads
rope.
of space. You can stay there,
Oh,
surely.
okay. I thought it was shorter.
What are the
Fair
rest of
enough.
you guys doing while she's looking in the pit?
I'm watching the other husks.
Bollocks. So
And that's still
13
ready.
investigation.
Can I really awkwardly try and climb down without a rope?
Yeah. Go for it. I'll roll.
No, wait, is there?
I mean,
I have some rope if you would. I actually do
So what
have
did-
heavy
what-
I just
rope.
want to go look at the body of the thing.
What did you roll?
I'll pull out a
13.
rope and just chuck an end to Freya.
Alright,
I'm not brave enough to go into the pit, but I'm just going to watch at the edge because I'm quite intrigued about the body. But I'm not going
What do I
in.
do, like acrobatics or something?
It's acrobatic or athletics for me
Yeah.
to jump
Oh,
in.
both are shit.
Interesting.
Break your leg.
8.
Yeah.
Swings face first into the wall.
I mean, you get like halfway down and you slip, and you sort of graze your hands on the way down, and you drop some of your stuff out of your pockets, and you have to try and pick it all back up.
Oh,
You didn't take
no.
I
anything.
hate it when that happens.
Which
bags
is
will-
advantage if I'm holding the rope.
Oh, when you're holding a rope for it, then
Yeah,
roll
yeah.
roll again with
Alright.
yeah, one more.
It worse.
This is the same, isn't it?
Yeah. The rope actually gets in the way.
Hey, no, I'm holding the rope for you. I'm holding the rope.
Yeah, just holding a rope in one hand it axe in the other, watching the house. It's like,
Yeah, and she's just like, it's not enough rope, so you haven't given her enough slack, and she just gets swings into the
So
wall.
my rope, my researcher hands are too smooth.
Yeah.
13
so
investigation.
So grim.
it's there was a lot of sand in here, and you can see that the sort of dust level is a different colour around the side on this pit. And digging through some of the sand, it's just junk and like bits of bone, maybe from other husks, littered with these roots from this thing now. But you don't find anything of value, just bits of husk.
And do you want to look at the body?
Yeah, I wanna poke around the body, see if there's anything.
You roll a medicine check this time.
Can I help?
Okay with that?
Sure.
Oh, that's gonna be real good.
You're welcome.
Actually, are you proficient in medicine?
Me? No.
Then I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say you can help in a skill if you're proficient. Like this. This is like examining a corpse.
18.
You're me.
I mean, it's literally
18.
examining a corpse.
Quite
Are you a
literally.
medical doctor?
18.
Yeah.
I mean, I've come across a lot of fucking corpses. You know what I'm saying?
So you notice where the spine has sort of been exploded from that blast of energy, there is a single really core root that's poking up through it, and bits are branching off of it, and there's like a fluid that's leaking out of it. You get the feeling that
Tasty.
that root is like the core of this infection that was in this creature, was in its spine.
Hey, Eugene, do you have a vial?
Oh, so,
Oh yes. How many do you need?
Just the one.
I
Can I?
try to toss one down.
Oh no!
Okay, so
Can I?
you roll a deck.
Everyone collectively goes, oh.
Can I try?
Would it be accurate? It would be athletics.
Yay!
I have to try and catch it.
Yeah.
Oh god, I don't know what's going to be worse to throw
This is
on
going
the
to set
catch.
the DC of your catch. So.
Well, I rolled a 14.
You're too far away from me.
Okay.
That's not. It could be athletics. Did you say?
Yes.
13.
Okay.
Tasty.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Roll an athletics check to catch.
It's an 8.
Okay.
do I see that?
He said.
Yeah, I know, but I was like,
Yeah,
what is going on?
I'm gonna cast Mage Hands and just like catch it.
Okay,
just like hold it just out of reach.
So Eugene, it wasn't a bad throw actually for you. You're quite proud of it.
For me?
Yeah. You take it out and then just. And then
Oh, it was
cruising
definitely underarm.
Yeah, it's cruising down, and the light from
For up rather than down.
the light from Ansel's tail shifts, and it sort of glints off of it for a minute, and you're like, and you lose it, and you're like, oh crap! And then and then it just sort of freezes in the air, and you can see a faint, like almost like that heat wave in the desert. It's like a hand shaped like that, and just sort of floats down and opens it into your hand.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and get some of the goo.
Get some root juice.
Yeah.
Juice.
Roll.
Root juice. Root juice.
Roll a.
I might have to change my dose.
I've got many for you to choose from.
I would say
I've got someone.
there's not really an alchemy check, is there? And I don't need to do a skill challenge. Just roll a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. Oh,
I need to throw everything away.
burn it all.
That is a 4.
So you like get the root and you like shove the fucking vial on the end of it and you're like trying to squeeze some of it out. You get like maybe a drop like in the bottom and it's a very little whack.
Eugene, is this enough?
Are you there as well?
I'm still down
Give her a
there.
hand, this one.
Do you want me to roll my...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So do I have a decent view of this from the top?
Yeah, we're about 10 feet down.
It's a 6.
She's like, give it here. And you're like, wow, there's really not much left in this fucking thing.
Well, can you help me get down that pit? I think I need to take
You're
a sample.
all going in the pit.
I'm staying up.
Yeah, I'm saying about
Sure.
this bit's dangerous.
I don't know if
Climb down.
thank you.
I'm just holding the rope.
Eat the gnome!
I'm just gonna hold the rope.
Oh, he's rolling. Oh, we're fucked.
We're all in the pit.
While
Lloyd
this is
fucked up.
happening and I'm holding the end of
Sentinel.
Sentinel's rope,
Sentinel's end.
I'm just gonna pull out like some snacks and then just be like, Moxie, Ora,
Sure.
Yeah, go on.
food.
What
Oh, wait,
food
I've
is
got-
it? Is it like jerky?
It's like some it's gonna be some form of nut.
Nice. That's quite a ration you've got there.
So I'll just look at her and just like
Elements.
hold up one end of the rope, one hand the hand axe, and just like
I'll just like throw a handful like
I'll
in your mouth.
just try and catch it
I'll
out.
just feed you out.
Like a...
So these guys are feeding each other nuts. You guys get another drop of liquid.
So
This sort of tarry liquid.
Have I got down there at this stage?
I would say just as you're about to, you're like hiking your trousers up, like right, and just in that moment you hear
Oh, no.
from both the tunnel, muffled by the sand.
Oh, Lloyd's also fully
and-
gone.
and down
He dead.
with that you hear like a roar that's sort of very distant, very echoed, like, and then you hear Lloyd go, hello. So what are you guys doing?
That doesn't sound good.
Can I send, yeah.
Leave him to die.
Right, can I send a
back up.
message down the hall to like, what's up?
Do you need to know the direction because you can't see his light at this point?
Oh,
I think you need to be able to...
That's why he's like
make
echo.
this
The
move.
voice is sort of echoed.
yeah, I said to her like down the point a finger towards a creature within range, 120 feet. So I don't know where. I just sort of point down the corridor. I don't know if it bends off that way.
I guess roll an attack with disadvantage
Okie
because you're trying to like aim at him, right?
dokie. Disadvantage. You just
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's 18 plus what?
Spell attack.
Spell attack.
So
Okay.
that's it.
So 6. Yeah. So 24.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
The other was a natural 20 though.
Damn. He just explodes. No.
The force of the message.
Yeah, you do. You think that you found him. He's basically moved part way down the tunnel and he's gone right and down, started going down on his own. What do you say?
Like, are you okay? What's up?
Yep, I'm absolutely sherpa. Where are you guys?
I sent another message like, we're still by the pit.
Why? There's great adventures down here. You can sort of hear him out of breath and know his mental.
Hey guys, Lloyd's gone, and yeah. He's
that roar again.
He sounds a bit scared.
Pull us back up. Pull us back up.
Yeet.
I'm taking a sample because I'm just watching this. Going, that's not how you take a sample.
I'll start pulling Freya up while.
No, I'll start pulling you up.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys make your way up together, and you're all out the pit now.
I'm still taking a sample.
She's still got it, right? So you've got you holding the sample.
Oh, I
so.
give it to him.
Yeah.
No, Eugene's still taking.
Oh, you want to go
I
down and
wanted to
get
get
a
involved,
sample?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
everyone gets out of the pit except Eugene. Gets in the So as
Eugene,
they
have
go
you
up,
got
you
any
go down and roll a.
I'm already down at this stage.
Okay,
but-
roll a medicine check.
Have you got any rope, Eugene?
He's got the end of mine.
I'm fish
okay.
medicine.
I thought...
That's the one.
Yeah, I just forgot. I'm just trying to get back.
You
No,
get
mind.
down and you're like, oh fuck, they really screwed this up. It's obviously their fault.
Time to go. And the rope's just like dangled down there.
Yeah, you don't even get a drop.
Oh, bud.
That's okay, we have 2 drops.
In fact, the glass vial
fuck you.
breaks
No!
on a bit of bone. You're like,
There's always next time.
I'll just,
Never
as soon as he
mind.
holds on to it, I'll just start pulling him up.
you guys make it out, no problem.
Eugene, just take the fucking hand.
I'm going.
No, take the hand.
Oh, wait.
For the hands. I don't know where it's been.
Okay, don't take the hand. We leave.
Where are you guys going? You going
I'll
down
just
to
pick up
Lloyd?
the hand and
Yeah.
shove it in the bag.
Go down to
Well, you're going to say something else then.
So,
Aura has the hand.
I have
you
the
carrying
hand.
the hand with you?
Yeah, I'm just going to shove it in the bag. I
Okay.
hope it doesn't start stealing my stuff.
Mark down
A hand.
One
it-
hand.
ticking time bomb. No. Just write down
Why is this peeping?
wild husk hand.
Ooh, fancy.
Huskhound.
Husk hand.
Oh, also point of order that I probably should have mentioned, just so you know, I have 2 bottles of possible poison.
Oh,
Love it.
Just so you
Oh, this should be fun.
Maybe alcohol.
yeah.
I can't remember how I acquired them. It will have been in our session 0.
Yeah.
But I had written in my notes 2 vials of possible poison.
Where did you pick those up?
The prison.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What did you guys do?
Okay,
stuff.
so as you descend, that warm
We just
air
went to church.
breezes over you.
We went
It's
gambling.
the breeze is pulling up from down that right route up and into yours.
Of course, not.
And as you descend, you see Loit at the front of this cavern. There's 20-foot high ceilings, is patterned almost where they've been hollowed out. There's molten glass spikes that are sort of rising out the floor, but without light shining through them. They're more obsidian looking. They're quite dark. You see, Loit is looking at one of these glass murals, like pillars, shining a light through it. Ahead of you, there is a small hole of sunlight that shines through a collapsed mural, and it's basically a big pile of rubble. But there's that mauve sand, the bit of colour that's coming through from the fracture. The hole at the moment is only about 6 inches wide, though. The rest of the gap's covered over. To your left, there's a large stone seal, like a millstone, and around it the ground is cracked, and there's a gap that's sort of fresh and almost like it's been shifted to the side very recently. And it reveals a space, and this sort of very dim, ethereal glow is coming from that as well.
Where's Lloyd?
Lloyd is looking at one of the glass sort of spikes that's sticking out the ground.
So the 6-inch hole is like outside, right? It goes
Yes.
outside. Okay.
And the breeze is coming through that.
Excellent.
The millstone. I'm going to look at Ahmaya. Do you think we could move this?
I'll give it a go.
It's
Beefy boys.
yeah, it's like a 5-foot diameter sort of circle of rock, right?
I roll up my sleeves.
Okay, you both
I don't
can try
know
and move it.
Geology's never
Give
stopped you
us.
before.
You can either both roll strength checks then, athletics.
Athletics.
10. Can I re-roll that?
You got a 10.
Why am I not giving anyone guidance?
Why are you giving anyone guidance?
You're welcome to.
I keep forgetting I have.
What did you get, Steve?
16.
Aura. Okay, so between you, the problem isn't that it's too heavy. You think you could probably shift this, but the ground is very dusty and it's slipping, especially under your feet, Amaya. You just can't get purchase with your feet. And it starts to sort of shift and then it rocks back into its sort of divot that it's resting in.
Is it just sand or is there like stone underneath?
There's stone underneath, but it's
Can
making
I-
it slippy.
Can I like clear a
Can
Sure.
we help with? Well, can
Um,
I use thaumaturgy to like get a gust of wind?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
I'm
yeah.
going to pull out a... Where is it? I'm going to pull out a crowbar and try and use it as a lever to get underneath.
Casually bring a crowbar.
I say,
Using my equipment.
I say, you use your legs, not your back,
Lift with the spine.
and I give him guidance.
Okay, yeah. You give him guidance or her guidance.
Okay, Steve.
Okay,
Is that D4?
so you
Yeah.
already have too. I don't want to waste your answer. He's got advantage with the crowbar.
Yeah.
He already has
advantage
advantage.
with it. Advantage
okay,
with a D4.
so is
Oh,
anyone else?
Oh, does it add D4?
Yeah,
okay,
D4,
that's
yeah.
fine then.
It's for any
I put it for some reason. I thought
Any
it gave
ability
advantage.
check.
So you get advantage on yours plus a d4, and because of the thaumaturgy gust, and as you hit that thaumaturgy gust, it blew some of the sand into this, and you hear a very faint rattle of stuff, like ticking things on a shelf or something. The floor is now clear. Roll strength check again with advantage, and
24.
24.
Spicy.
Natural 19.
That is 14.
Okay, yeah. Together, you guys. It's tough going, or you get that crowbar right underneath, and you get it out of the really tough bit. It was getting it in that inlet, that was the hard bit, and then that gives Ahmaya enough space to just heave it forward, and it actually rolls a little bit towards the stairs, which is the way you came in, and for a moment you think it's going to seal you in, and it just goes and hits an area of sort of, it's like a broken area actually to the left of the stairs. The walls are a bit broken, and it just hits that and breaks a bit more off the walls.
Did it crush Lloyd?
No, but he is coming over now, and he shines his torch in.
Hopefully stays with us forever.
And
I'm gonna fucking kill
What was
him.
he freaking out about though? What could we hear?
You asking him?
Roaring?
You asking him?
Yeah.
What are you freaking out about, Lloyd?
I wasn't freaking out about anything. I was just enjoying. And for a roll an insight check, I was just
Yes.
he was like, I was just
Natural
trying.
20.
Very nice.
Wait. 26.
Nice.
Tasty.
I mean, they don't call me Lloyd the Trailblazer for nothing. Like I was out here.
I whispered to Moxie, does anybody call him that?
He as he's talking, his like eyes are looking over to the fractured bit in the wall that the millstone just sort of rested against. Like he's not quite comfortable with that over there. But that's all he gives away. He's definitely hiding something.
Do we see anything as when we look in?
Well, Freya sees that he's just full bluster to you guys.
He's looking at the crack.
I'm
where
looking
the
into
millstones
where we
are.
moved the millstone
Is there
from.
anything else around the crack?
Yeah, I mean, there's a very faint breeze coming through it, but it's part of the tunnel system. You're not quite sure.
The crack that went outside.
No, so
Got it.
there's
Just
another
checking.
hole that leads to outside, and that hole is made by this broken mural that's sort of collapsed in.
Okay, can we see the mural? What's the mural of?
Sure. Well, after Lloyd has given you his bullshit, he walks over to the room that you've just opened up, and the light sort of shines out from that. This is aurora glow. What are you guys? You still going to the mural?
Yeah, I'm going to look at the mural because I
I'm
saw him
watching
looking
him.
shifty at it.
Okay, you're going to go to the mural.
I'm going to watch Lloyd and look in the room.
Okay. What are you guys? Everyone else
I'm
doing?
gonna go in the room.
Room.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the mural as well.
Mural.
I'm going in the room.
Room.
I was going to help you, but there's two other in the room.
Party.
You're going room.
I'll go room.
Okay, so as Lloyd walks into the room and lights it up, you guys give me perception checks.
Room, guys. Or
Let's hit
everyone.
nuggets.
Yes, room guys.
Where's my
Yeah,
perception?
but it's still
20, but not that.
perception. Yeah,
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
I'm rolling
still only an
garbage.
8. Do you want some other dice?
No,
I have many.
I have many other dice. I was just using my shiny new one, which is
Not doing
not
well.
giving me a 20 yet.
20 for me, but not natural.
13.
13, 26,
6.
13.
13.
No, 26.
So room guys, those who got over a 12, so I think that was everyone except Ahmaya. It's a sort of small glass nodule that's been turned into a chapel of some sort. There's a dust covering on all surfaces, but there is a sort of shelf, this glass shelf that's been used as an altar, some idols. Pinned above it is this piece of vellum that's been pinned on the wall, but this looks very much like it was been used by not the people that made it. The nodule itself almost looks like, in a strange way, floor tilings made out of glass that are on the wall, and they're up the wrong way, and the edges of it are all molten and distorted and a little bit bent into the granite as well. But that's what you see on that.
I don't really see half of that. I'm
What
just
are you
looking at
guys
shiny
doing?
stuff.
There are these small idols that are covered in dust. There's the vellum pinned to the wall that looks like some sort of sketch, maybe.
Any symbols I recognise?
So you're just looking on the walls.
Yeah, just at the idols or any.
Roll. Okay, so if you're going to look at the idols on the walls for symbols, roll an investigation check. What are you guys doing? Who are all in the room, guys?
I want to look at the vellum and possibly take it down, depending on what's on it.
Okay. Come to that.
Tasty.
There aren't any carvings on the walls. It's pure sort of pristine glass that's covered in a layer of dust. Even through that dust, it's got that luminescence to it. And the idols don't have any drawings on them or anything. They're a bit more corroded than everything else, but there's no symbols on them. In fact, you count 10 of the idols, but that's all you get really. There's 10 idols there, and they're vellum.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you sort of approach it, you can see immediately how crumbling it is. It's really, really dry and delicate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with it?
What's on it? Can I see what's on it?
Yeah, it's sketches. So it looks a little bit like. Where's that gone?
Up your butt.
My boy. My boy. Oh, that's weird. Oh no, it's here, that's right. So it's basically like some charcoal sketches on a piece of vellum, and it's two. One of them is a sort of spire, like an old church spire that's molten and bent, and behind it there's just darkness. And then the other one, it's like a grand archway that's been built into a cliff of some sort.
Can I take it down?
You can. How are you gonna approach it? Just gonna go and grab it?
No, hang on.
You're gonna want to spray that with some fixative.
Roll that up.
If it's looking like it's going to fall apart, I want to do it really gently. Like what? Let me have a look what I can use.
And in that moment, you guys are in there. You start hearing the same roaring that you did a moment ago when you were up in the other room, and it's much closer, and it's coming from the crack in the wall where the millstone hit.
Oh no!
Can I use like a dagger or a rapier to kind of like really gently ease it off and try and keep it as
Roll a sleight of hand check. Mural guys. You approach the mural and you hear the screaming. What do you do?
Does it sound like the other husk, the wild husk that we saw before?
Yeah.
11.
So it's another
It sounds like more than one.
Oh.
Like overlapping voices.
I would not
11.
call them voices.
11.
How big is the crack? Sorry.
So you ease it off, and maybe the sound of it distracted you slightly, and it's like pinned up against something. You're not quite sure how they've nailed it in, and as you pry it off, a chunk just goes off the top corner. Doesn't affect the sketch, but it's so delicate, and you pull it off, and it's like a chunk has come off, the bottom's coming away. It's very delicate. Mural guys. It's just made of dark rock. There's potentially a story here to these, but you'd have to start piecing it together, and at that point there is a loud crash at the cracks behind you where the millstone hit, and a deafening like roar, a guttural roar, and as you look around there's one of these creatures that's sort of reaching its hand through the cracks.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, get back in here now.
Sacred flame the thing coming through the crack.
You're gonna sacred flame it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on. Oh no, it's a deck save, isn't it?
Yeah, hang on.
Flame like radiance descends on a creature that
Flame
you can
like
see.
radiance.
Is it flame?
Rage. It's it's like a little lightning flash.
Like a lightning flash.
Yeah,
It's
real quick.
It's kind of obscured, I guess, because it apparates inside, doesn't it? Like behind on it.
Yeah.
So you rolled pretty good. It rolled us an 18 deck save.
Woof.
Wait, what's my 14?
Fine.
Whatever.
Level 1.
So it sees a spark and it shifts and there's a flash of light and it just starts
I've moved
reaching
back
through.
A lot to,
Cool.
Do I want to go in the room or do I want to go towards the exit that we sort of have?
What are you guys going to do?
Guys!
Another one smashes up against the wall as well.
I'm
like reaching through.
probably
Yeah,
gonna
but-
yell for Moxie and run if I can hear you screaming.
Yeah, no, I was going. It's like, yeah, guys, help! This is getting very scary.
I'm running. I'm fucking yeet.
So, yeah, no, I
You
shoot
go
a
and-
chill
yeah.
touch. I can see one, can't I?
At the moment, they're sort of behind 3/4 cover,
Okay.
but you can see them.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Yeah, try.
Roll an attack.
No, that's not gonna hit.
What did you know? No, I mean 3/4 cover.
Well, it's 8 on the die, so.
Oh, right, no, yeah. What does it look like? The frost just
Yeah, it's like spectral,
covers the
Yeah,
walls.
spectral hand like goes up to like try and like grasp at something, but
It just floats straight
Whiffs.
through the wall, covers it in like spiking frost. What are you guys doing? Another one lands behind it. There's like 3 pairs of arms now, like grabbing at the rock and pulling bits down,
The
making the
light disappears off the cat's tail and reappears back on the sword. I'm gonna move in close and sort of to the side, and if the arms are reaching through, try and chop down and slice them.
Okay, so if you're going to attack one, that's a cooled shot, right? So
Yeah.
disadvantage. What are you guys doing? Because we're not in initiative. The only ways out is either the hole with the rubble in front, or you'd have to just try and find another way.
Can I go towards the hole? You said it had a small gap, right?
Mhm. It's about
How
6
much
inches.
rubble is it? Like, could we open it up a bit?
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, with a few of you together.
Do I see that?
Moxie!
Yeah,
I run over and help.
cool.
Can I grab one of the idols on my way out? Literally, like as I'm
Just a random one.
just one of them.
Yeah.
In my bag.
I might do the same as well.
Cool. Grab one of the idols. They're made of granite, and you grab them.
That's fine. And then I'm probably gonna run towards Ora and help on the front.
Okay.
I could use the help because I rolled a natural 1.
Oh!
So it reaches through and you just sparks fly, but you miss the wrists. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, if you're going to try and pull the rubble out, we're going to do a skill challenge. So you guys have got to try
my
and...
fragile bit of paper. Just like,
It's going to
Actually,
gonna
I'll probably
be
give it to
first
you.
to 5 successes or
We'll
failures,
do it after.
and
it's
you can
yours. You look
use
after it now.
either an item,
Paper.
a skill, or a spell. If you use a spell and it's a spell slot spell, I'll give you the success as long as the application works. And just be as imaginative as you can. You can't reuse either the spell, skill, or item. So once you've used it as a group, you can't use it again. So if you use athletics to pull down the biggest bit of rubble, then no one else can use athletics. And while you guys are trying to do that, the number of husks is building and they're getting closer and they're breaking further through. So, who is up first? It's first to 5 failures or successes.
I'll go first since I was.
Are you going to the
I'm
rocks?
going to try and find weaknesses in the rock.
I'm gonna.
What are you going to do? What
I'm
skill are
gonna
you
call
using?
to you and throw the crowbar to you.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't want to use athletics. I just want to look at it.
Catches it.
I want to either perceive
Mhm.
or investigate
Whichever you prefer.
to like try and see where the cracks are, like which are the weak points.
I'll let you use either. Whichever you prefer.
Well, it's going to be perception then.
Cool.
20, not natural.
Nice, that's a success. So you start seeing that one of the largest bits of the mural is covering a big chunk of the outside and there's a lot of sand behind it. And if you can get a lever behind that and over, there's a big chance that it will open up quite a large
Can I
space.
tell Ora that?
Perfect. So I'm going to put up d6s.
You're fighting though.
Oh yeah, this was a question.
Should
if
I-
we're fighting,
Yeah.
is that going to give them more time?
It's part of the skill challenge.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Got you.
So we're not going to go into initiative because they're behind a wall. So if you were doing an attack or something, you're helping. That side is a success. This side is a
So
fail.
has Ora thrown the crowbar?
I guess you caught it and you're like, no, I'm looking, and you just threw it back.
No, I'm looking at it.
I pass it over to
Okay,
whoever's. Are you there?
Yeah,
as well?
I'm with you.
I pass it
Right.
to.
So what are you going to do, Amaya?
Well, I'm going to communicate with Freya and say, are there any weak points?
Yeah, and I point them out
Cool.
to you.
And then I put the crowbar in and like use all of my massive strength to like crowbar
You
it
are
out.
strong. What's your strength? Bulging muscles.
Plus 17.
Yeah, so you're pretty strong. Yeah. It's wiry.
Steve.
Yeah.
If you hit one like your weapon, and I use a spell,
Roll
then we should.
an
That's two
athletics
different
check. It's up to you which skill you'd like to use. It's going to be athletics,
Athletics
I
or
would say.
I'm just gonna put-
Yeah, athletics you'd get your proficiency, right? Yeah, you must.
Yeah.
How close
Yeah.
they are, because I've got sword first, because
Yes.
fine.
That
Nice.
is 24.
They have to.
Nice, 24. Yeah, that's another success.
So cool.
So, I'll call D6. You catch Chuck from Freya, so Chuck's from Ora to Freya to Amaya, and with the crowbar comes a message of fucking move that large mural thing, and you just jam it down the back and heave it. Your muscles rippling, and then it smashes over, and whatever story was on this thing just crashes into pieces. Mauve sand just cascades in. The hole is larger now. You probably can't squeeze through it just yet, but you've made good progress. Who's next?
So I have a question, and depending on the answer, I might need someone else to go, and then if it's
Sure.
all right. So, if I'm right up with where those guys' arms is, how many would you say would be within 5 feet of me?
All of them.
Sweet. So I'm going to use sword burst, and they all have to take a dex saving throw.
Okay. So does that appear because obviously they're behind cover, like 3/4 cover, but then yours apparates on them. So is it a similar effect, or is it
So
like
it-
radiate out from you? Or
It's a circle of spectral blades that sweep around me. But if they're spectral, I suppose is how thick is that wall, and would it cut through them?
yeah, I mean, because the reason I didn't get Freya to check is because it appears on them, so it would be behind the cover because she can see them.
I get you.
If this goes from you and sweeps, I'm going to say they still get their cover but then it's a save, right? So I can't remember how a cover affects saves, or if it does.
I think it's just
Just a
advantage.
Is it a bonus to it or an advantage
I
to
think
it?
it's advantage.
Let's do that for now. Okay, so they're going to get advantage on a dex save, is it?
Yeah.
There's 3 of them there at the moment, so I don't think I've got enough d20s to do 6.
And then I don't know how you want to count this as a success or a fail.
Oh, thank you. I'll do 2. Let's see what
Let's see
the
what
dice
happens
falls.
fucking first.
Dex, yeah?
Yeah. What's my spell save, do you say?
Okay, that's a 15 on a 1. 5 on a 1 for that guy.
Yes.
And a 16.
Yeah.
That's a 16, a 12, and a 7.
My spell save is a 13.
So 1 succeeds.
Yeah.
can't
I was going to say
remember
2
yours.
fail.
Is
We were
it?
both right. So the 2 that failed take 4 bludgeoning damage. No,
Cool.
4 force damage each, sorry.
And 2. It's 4 force damage. Nice. I'm going to call that a success because you affected more than half of them. Yes. So they're reaching through, and these swords, what do they look like? Similar to the first spell you cast with like the dirt and the dust and the glowing. And...
Yeah. So like the dust around like kind of gets sucked up again into the shape of like scimitars, and then it's
Nice. It's got like a glowing sort of core to each blade and just slices straight through it. It cuts huge holes in some of the rock, but it's just completely solid in the sides. But then where you do get through the gaps, it slices them up, and they just... That's a good
Does it
success.
stay there?
I think it's it's instantaneous, so it will just, it's like
Very, very
As-
nice.
As soon as she does that and see them taking damage. Not bad. Pull the square shield off my back, and how big is the gap they're trying to get through?
There's a few gaps. The largest is probably about 6 inches, but with each round, they're just smashing bits off, and it's getting wider.
So I'm gonna sort of slow that arm through the shield and with a shoulder ram it against the wall and block the gap.
So you're like gonna hold
and hold the
you're gonna hold the
shield
hold
against
there.
him.
Okay, let's do some contested strength.
Spicy.
So
Really need a wee.
Can I guide on any of these? Or is it a solo skill challenge?
yeah, I think
Guidance
because
via crowbar.
I think
I'm
if
just gonna
it,
be like, you can do it.
You did! Use your
I believe in you.
so it's 3 of them, but
Trust your gut.
they're reaching through and you've got a shield. So I'm gonna give all of them disadvantage.
Okay.
But you're gonna be going against 3.
Is it going to be 3 checks from me or just 1?
That's a good point. I'm gonna give them a collective disadvantage, 1 roll.
Okay.
Otherwise that's unfair. Okay,
Watch this be the first fail.
there's a 6.
Just straight strength. 21.
Nice. Even with the
Only
advantage,
with 14 on the
you just maybe it's the pent up frustration of being in a small tunnel and just
Oh, was it with advantage?
no. I had
okay.
advantage because there was 3 of them. You just fucking slam into them. In fact, you hear one of the arms just snap around the side where it's like underneath the shield. Another one at that end of that round runs in behind. There's 4 behind there now, just scrambling forward. There's another success. You need 1 more. You guys haven't failed any.
Yeah.
Cool.
Get that
There's
thing open.
still Eugene and Moxie to go.
We need the exit.
Is
Get
there
the
any?
exit.
Just it doesn't matter what it is. But is there anything on the floor that can move? Just
Like,
a
a
small.
crowbar.
There's rocks. There's what sort of thing?
Yeah,
is
sort
on?
of between a 1 to 5 pound sort of rock on the
Sure.
floor. Cool. So I go up over to it, and the people who are trying to sort of make our escape.
People.
The group.
Ladies.
We the lady.
So guys, if you can move, please. And I put. You guys can't really see it particularly well because I guess you're not looking, but it basically looks like a small, tiny little bottle.
Oh no, you're gonna blow up.
And it's really small. And I place it so that the cap is facing away from the wall where we're trying to escape. And if you were to look, you see it fizzing, really uncontrollably fizzing. And this rock just launches at the wall, and I cast catapult, or as I called it, fizzy propulsion.
You strapped a Coke and Mentos to a rock.
So
amazing.
So yeah, so the wall
So happy.
would have to take a dexterity saving throw. I don't know how that
It
works.
fails.
So it takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
The
What?
wall does. The wall does.
Well, yeah.
Oh, the
when
mural.
we're trying to, you sorry, the mural. When
No,
we're trying
oh
to,
man, I thought you were doing the zombie wall. He's got So the mural, fails its dex save.
Fucking hell.
3d8 is nuts.
so 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Very nice.
Tasty.
Wow.
Busy propulsion.
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't even know how to. I mean, that's a win because you use a spell, so it's an automatic success. But like, you've smashed open another hole. So
Do you want a go?
you attach, you bandage up. It's like you just
Guys,
like
got
wrapped
it.
it around the rock.
No, just placed it.
Oh, and it attaches to it, just on the rock.
Oh yeah, it's just for
Yeah.
theatre of it. It's catapult basically.
Yeah, and it just this glass vial that shouldn't look like it can hold so much pressure.
It's not a glass vial, but
Oh, what was it? Like
well,
a bottle.
it depends if people look.
Yeah.
I'm being. Oh, you know why I'm being obviously secretive with this.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Sure. And it basically everyone sees an eruption of foam and fizz.
Sure.
Yeah.
This rock just goes unnaturally fast.
There's also a weird smell of beer.
I was about to ask what it smells like now.
His strange smell is
Metallic
weird.
musk and beer.
It just catapults this rock across the room and just smashes another hole. I'd say the hole's about 5 foot wide now.
Also, classic Charlie ruining
Get
those
through that.
plot spoilers.
With all that talk of bottles. Okay, and with that, that's the successes. But you guys, did you have something to contribute, Moxie?
No.
Okay.
Moxie's just running in circles.
You're just stroking your cat.
And Moxie was also.
Playing with Ansel. Yeah, so the mural gets absolutely destroyed by this rock, and there is a way out. But with that, a 5th husk smashes into the wall. Bits are falling off around Ora now, like chunks of rock falling off onto your back. What do you guys do?
Ow, ow, ow.
I'm gonna grab Aura's like forearm and be like, time to go! And we're running.
I'm gonna look around for Lloyd, see if I can see him.
No!
And if I can't, I still run out anyway.
Do the wild husks all have the root thing going on?
I guess you can see the arms coming through. They do. Yeah, they've all got that strange root.
Do you want a
boniness.
hand so you can get some more of that root juice?
Not the root juice.
Can I light a torch, or can I grab a torch off of? I think Eugene's
I still got
his.
one.
Hey, which is
And stick it through the hole. Pull the shield away, stick it through the hole, and just try and set them on fire before running out.
Wow.
You can. That would take you an extra turn there, and
That's fine.
yeah.
has
I got this.
Eugene's bottle thing left alcoholic residue on the ground?
Has it?
No, it just smells of alcohol.
They
It just
start
smells of
licking
beer.
it.
So if everyone else is moving to the exit, it's gonna take a round for you to stay behind and try and set them on fire.
I'll just chuck grab the torch, just shove it and try and set on fire, and then just turn it.
Sure. I mean, you'd probably know that like you're going to struggle to set them on fire with just the torch because they're number one, they're just moving around. So
I'll just stick it in the hole and just leave it.
all right, yeah. Although it doesn't cost a round, you just stick the torch in the hole. I mean, they sort of don't
Just try
like
to
it.
sway
but-
them first.
they don't like it, but they don't really.
It's not the best day out.
Yeah.
Such an inconvenience.
Yeah, and then you guys are going for the exit hole, I
I
guess.
guess we're running away. That's what we do.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yeah.
We run
Level
away.
1!
Run away!
Okay, so you guys scramble through the hole. It's a one person at a time job. It's a 5 foot wide hole. So
I'm gonna wave everyone through.
cool.
Go,
You
go,
go
go.
Freya's going
Are we
last.
is it like go
last.
up? Or
I'll
like
go
straight out,
last
down?
and just use
Um,
the
What's the
shield
direction
to.
of it?
It's sort of out onto like a rock face, and
But like,
then
is it slanted? Like, does it have a?
yeah, the mural and the rubble have sort of made a small ramp up out into it.
Cool. Well, when
Yeah.
I get out the top, I'll help like pull people out.
Cool. So Freya's standing behind.
Whee!
You're going through. You're helping people through.
I'm making
After-
sure Moxie's got to get out before me.
Just
I'll go-
stuff it through.
I'll go last and just hold the shield
Kick her
behind
ass.
me and just sort of block our retreat.
Okay.
You just
So-
throw him another.
You go through.
busy looking at
I guess
it.
as you all exit, the sun is bright, and you I guess in that moment when Ora reveals the hole away from takes the shield away to reveal the hole, you are going to leave a hole there. You can still hear the screaming and the rubble and the breaking of rock
I'm
inside.
just using the shield as we go up the
Yeah.
exit and just sort of
Yeah, like
keeping it
behind.
as a barrier.
Yeah, but as you guys exit
Yeah.
onto the dune, like there's this cliff face with a hole in it, and you can hear the roaring
How
coming
big?
from inside. It's 5
5
foot wide.
Fuck.
A steel shield, mirrored shield is not going to be enough.
No. Oh, William.
Wait, so we're on the side of a cliff?
No, you're on a dune. So you're on a dune that leads up to a cliff like this,
Oh,
and where the cliff
okay.
meets
I
the
don't-
sand, there's a
What's
small
down
hole.
below?
Down below is just like down into dunes and into the Cragmore. But if you roll,
I was gonna throw the other shield to whoever's nearest me, grab Eugene, put my square shield on the floor, grab him, and just slide down the dune.
well, if I mean, has anyone got any great sense of direction before I ask to roll skills? Is there anyone with an ability that knows where you are?
no.
No.
I don't think
I've
so.
got a compass, but
Do you use it? As you're
no, I'm just
coming
going
out?
down the dunes.
Okay, because you
just
know
coming with me.
you all know that the camp is in the base of a dune, and it's not in this one. It's in between crag story, not at the base of a dune, and it's not ahead of you. So
Does Lloyd have that ability?
he does not.
I'm just
Why
thinking,
did we bring you?
I'm just
Don't
thinking
say
put as
that.
much distance.
In fact, he's cast a
Awesome.
mage hand, and he's like pulling rocks off the cliff to try and cover the hole.
Oh, it's easy now.
I'm trying.
Could we? Wait. So, June up
Cliff.
to the cliff.
Mhm.
So you couldn't cause like an hour.
If you got rocks to fall off the cliff, sure.
Oh no.
We're out of it.
I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
if me punching the
we're
cliff will
good.
do anything.
Someone else has got one of my shields and just like.
There's rocks inside, like the mural, I guess. If you wanted to, I don't know. There's rocks in there.
Okay.
There's bits of the cliff you could pull off. I'm gonna at that moment you hear another roaring from inside. They're gonna attack the wall. Oh my fucking god!
They're
What are
not
you guys
sure.
doing while I'm rolling?
I don't think I
Two
don't
hits.
think we'd stand a chance in closing that gap if it's 5 foot. It's going to take us
No.
forever with
I
Mage
feel
Hand.
like we just run.
If we run and try and get back to camp, we can at least have
We
people
don't
on
know which
board.
way camp is.
Or at least if we can
But if we
get
try-
distance, if they come down the hill, we might be able to
Give me an
deal with it
intelligence
instead.
check. The two of you who are getting your bearings, Aura and Sentinel.
That's a 17 on the dice. I think it's +1.
You guys came in
+2. 19.
19.
5.
So you guys came in. You remember you came in an hour before sunset, and you're looking up. You've probably been in there nearing an hour at this point, and you can tell the sun is coming from behind you, and you need to find it, not exactly, but you've gone sort of through the cliff that you were inside, so you know the camp is the other side of this cliff that you're currently looking at. You can see that if you were to run along the side of it, you'd find a gap through possibly, but if you go down the dune, that's the opposite direction. That's what you know.
Right. So we want to go along.
Yeah, we're going along the cliff.
Cool.
You leaving the hole?
I don't think we have a chance to close it, and if we get
I
back to
agree.
camp, we stand a much better chance of being able to fight everything off.
Yeah.
Run. Leave Lloyd.
Lloyd's gonna go
If you
with
can't
you.
keep up.
No, he's quiet. His
Oh, no,
cheek's still a little bit red. He's he's following you. But with that, hold on. Actually, give me 2 seconds.
No, we've run. We've run away. They can't get us now.
With the leaving the dunes behind, Lloyd's with you. He's stored his torch away, and you hear a rubble falling over, and they're scrabbling after you. So you're running along the cliff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone got anything we can leave behind us as like a trap?
Nope.
As a trap. No. I don't think so.
I can throw some punches, but then that means that they're kind of next to us. So that ain't no good.
Like some cat one in the other direction.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, and I'm going to send a cat in the other
That's a
direction.
really good idea.
Yeah.
To see where it goes.
So to try and split
Distract.
try and distract the husks.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're going to be blind, and then you're going to have him.
Oh no,
nail
I'm
a
not walking.
Oh, you're just gonna send them there as a lure.
I'm telling Ansel
Lure
to go
them
the
out.
other direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
We'll meet you at the camp,
Give
Hansel. Good cat.
roll a deception check for when they
For
escape.
the cat or for the cat's stats or my stats.
That's a good question because you're trying to deceive them, right? But it's the cat that's doing the deceiving.
Yeah.
Maybe the cat person.
I'm really thirsty, but I also really need a wee in this.
Yeah, just roll for Ansel because he's going to be trying to perform to lure them out, right?
Yeah, it would be. Well, I mean, he's just going to run. He's not really going to perform, but yeah.
Do it with swagger.
That would be a 7.
Okay, so he runs. He's sort of looking. You know, he's waiting. He's a very small thing when you look at him at the bottom of this cliff. What are you guys doing? You're sprinting around the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, you run.
Wait.
You got something too. Okay, so I let everyone go a tiny bit ahead. I look back and I shut my eyes and I would like to cast and like a fog cloud appears behind us.
Very nice.
Just in front of where they are.
Okay.
Or on them.
Yeah, around the hole, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's a 20-foot radius of fog.
And it obscures.
Spreads around corners, areas heavily obscured, lasts for the duration, which is...
It's heavily
up to
obscured
an
and it goes around corners.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to see where the hole is inside the room. So
Sick.
That's clutch.
you land it on the hole, and it's a 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
So 10 feet of fog outside and 10 feet of fog inside just completely clot the exit like a cloud.
Nice.
And with that, looking over your shoulder, you cast, and it's just like fucking run. And you guys just running along the edge of this cliff. And only 30 seconds, a minute passes. The heat now that you're actually out here in the sun, it is fucking boiling, even though it's getting on and it's almost dusk. And you find a gap in the rock, like a V-shaped gap, and you scrabble over the rocks. And down at the base of that dune, you see a small group of people walking around. In 2 people at a distance, you recognize your captain, He's a squat, sort of like bulky looking human, and you see Cook as well, the dwarf, and they're out looking for something. And
Does Cook look concerned?
yeah, they're looking like they're looking for something. So if you guys run and meet them, Cook's like, there they are.
My boy!
And Esquil is your captain, Captain Esquil Drummond, or Captain Drummond, sorry.
I was going to say, I've got
He's,
a different name.
He's a portly human. He's just shy of 6 feet, scruffy, long brown hair, sweat back, dark circles under his eyes, walks with a bit of a lurch. He doesn't wear his jacket or the aiguillette that comes with it. He's just wearing this sort of yellowing shirt and a copper chain around his neck. And he's like, Where's Devin?
Who's Devin?
Oh, fuck. Dav.
He's dead.
He's deceased.
Oh.
Devon doesn't exist.
He said he was going to stab you, and then a rock fell on
He
him.
said he was going to stab me.
Well, he's dead now, so it doesn't really matter, but yes.
What was that noise? We were hearing all sorts of screaming. Come with me, walk with me. And he starts walking you to the camp.
Husks, but not like normal ones. They had roots and vines coming from them.
Hostile for the first time.
Don't start talking about that until we get into my tent, alright? We don't want to scare anyone else.
Lloyd also did some screaming.
Yeah, Lloyd's currently like, he's like, shut it.
We found stuff though.
Good, that's good. Right, anything I need to know before I take you back into camp?
Yeah, there's a lot of husks that are weird.
They might be on
Back
the
around,
way in.
around that corner. They're not that far away.
We
Right.
tried to distract them. Freya managed to block their exit. We don't know if they've followed us. They haven't followed us so far.
And they're attacking you.
Yeah.
Husks.
They're very noisy, though. I think we would hear them if they were coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, well, let's talk about this inside my tent. Don't want any of this leaking out and scaring people like Lloyd. And he's like, I'm not scared of anything. It's like, actually got a little bit of tears.
Just sort of glance sort of down like, is his crotch dry?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking sweaty mess. You don't really know.
I really want to be mean, but I don't want to be mean. I was like, I just cast thaumaturgy to make the noise.
To make him wee himself. Oh, the noise of him too.
Just right next to him. No, I won't do that. But it'd be funny if I did.
You guys, the captain takes you down the slope. It's sort of like walking down a dune off the edge of this cliff, and around, it's hidden in the shade of one of these 100-foot crags. Is this dusty cluster of long utilitarian patchwork tents that are stamped with the faded condor crest of Duke Gaspar de Avico. There are pits dug at the entrance, boards that are slammed down over it. This is to stop the husks wandering in. Bit like the cattle grids.
Nice.
And they pull the board up, and you see there's a handful of docile husks just wandering around the outside, but they've set up a very loose canvas perimeter fence that you like they're like windbreaks. They bang them in, it just stops them wandering in. It's the camp smells of people. It's quite obvious.
So not
after
of
being
old
in.
lizards.
No more old lizards.
Young lizards.
Yeah. You see a small group of people actually, another orc, a couple of rough-looking humans, very dustmere, like vagabond about them, and you hear them walking over to Cook, and they're like, "Where's Dav?" And everyone's like, and you hear them talking about what happened to Dav. And in fact,
Also, Cook watched what happened to Dad.
yeah, well, they're talking to Cook, and he's like,
He did
telling
not
them,
see that.
And he did not
He's telling
tell
them.
anyone.
he's telling them what happened. You see Lieutenant Cade, who is the second in command. He's a very sort of sharp-looking man. He's pale, 6'2". He's an elf. He's very uptight. He's got like a middle parting with brown hair that's greased and combed back. Wears a very crisp Cade. Lieutenant Cade, sorry, K-A-D-E.
Is he the one who was taking the money when we
Possibly, yes. Yeah. He was wearing he's got his crisp uniform, the yellow colours. He's wearing the proper suit, the jacket, the blood red rope around his shoulder, and you see him talking to the same group about Dav, and then he looks over at you as you pass, and the captain takes you into his tent in the centre of camp. Smells of hot tar, body odour. There's a roll-out sleeping mat, a wooden writing board on the floor with a map, stick of charcoal, a small stack of wood near the entrance for a fire when the sun goes down. And even though the sun's low, it's still warming the side of the tent, casting a beige light over everything. And he pours the water out for all of you.
Beautiful.
Tell me what happened.
Drink a lot of
Thirsty.
While we were going through the tunnels, something happened. I think it was Dav, because I wasn't there. Don't say that bit. I think it was Dav, and it started causing the tunnels to collapse.
And he's dead.
And he's dead.
Lloyd's like, horribly, and it was great.
But you
You are
excuse
a
me,
weird
you
bloke.
weren't there when it happened.
Well, and he shuts up at that.
Yeah. We tried to leave. That's how Cook got out. But this one, I point at Lloyd, went down a different way. Decided to ignore the exit.
And look where it led us. And then the captain's like, you know what, you just leave at this point. Right?
And it's kind of mad, like a silent thank you.
And he listens to the captain and he leaves. You hear a faint, I am late.
We saw a lot of, the obelisk in Molterite Square in Dustbear.
Yeah, the Molterite Obelisk. I know
There's
that.
lots of stuff like that.
There's glass down there.
Yeah, walls built out of it.
That's
Whole
good.
rooms built out of it.
That's good. He goes over to a notepad next to the map and he starts writing that down.
That's what Dad broke that
Yeah.
caused the cave in.
I pull out one of the idols that I nicked and put it out.
I'll do the same as well.
Did this paper survive?
And the paper.
That's a good fucking point.
I gave it to Eugene.
What did you do with it? We'll backtrack. What did you do with the paper?
I would just put it in a pocket.
Sorry.
How big was this bit of paper?
It's like A3. Let's call it A3. It would have been up portrait.
Pocket.
But a piece snapped off when you picked it up. Very, very, very delicate vellum.
Man, that charcoal's going to be smudged.
So you would have known that. So what would you have done with it in that position? Obviously, you were in a
Rush.
yeah, and you were being attacked. But what would you?
I did say I had my jacket wrapped around my waist because I've tried to put it in a sleeve. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, you're gonna put it in the sleeve.
Shall we just roll a luck check and see if it survives?
I'll tell you what. I will roll something.
Oh God.
It's just all the dice you've got over there and see what happens.
I don't have a scroll. What is it? The scroll case.
Yeah.
It's not a great chance. Oh, that wasn't bad. But so as that's not bad. Okay, so as you mentioned the paper, you're like there was a vellum sketch. There was things out there we saw.
I can tell you what I wrote it down, so I relay that as well.
And as you say, I gave it to Eugene, and he's like, and you say, open out the sleeve of your jacket, and just before you finish opening it completely, like some dust and bits of like broken vellum just sort of fall out, and like there's a sort of pile of vellum.
We didn't have a chance to get it out properly. We were too busy trying to run from the house. But there was a church spire that looked molten with a lot of darkness behind it, and a grand archway in a cliff with the 2 images on it, and it was in this room full of idols that it looked like it had been put there recently, and the rest of it was just these fucking husks that are lethal as shit and they're really aggy.
Hearing that for the first time, is that notable at all from studies?
Do I see the
Well, with that, roll a Roll a history check.
It was almost good.
It was almost good.
It was a 5.
Oh, yeah. The images don't remind you of anything specifically. They look like they were once grand, and the pictures look like ruins of something. So
Okay.
I look at the darkness behind it.
yeah. Well,
I know.
the picture's
gone.
gone.
Oh,
Yeah, because
You
it.
were in the room though.
I
Yeah,
didn't see it.
it was
I
in
didn't
there.
see it. You would recognise that as the edge.
darkness. That's
Right.
the edge.
It's like a black sun, not setting sun on the horizon.
Are there any little bits of the parchment that have kind of survived? I'm not saying we can put it back together, but
Good.
just little
I
bits.
tell you
Do
what,
you
I
think
rolled.
you could draw it?
I could give it a go.
Could. It would be a mini skill challenge. I'd say if you spent an evening, you could, and we can roll. Because I rolled really close on the percentile, it almost survived. But if you can roll, what would it be? I would say
Sleight of
an
hand.
intelligence check, because you're just like a puzzle.
Okay.
So you're going to try and do that. But
Are we both
Not,
doing that?
did you say an evening?
yeah, I'd say it's going to take you a few minutes. So you're going to be doing. What did you say? Sorry.
Oh, it was whether or not we were. If I said I would try and draw it from memory.
Yeah, I'd say you could do that as well. From memory, yeah, you could. We'll do a little skill challenge.
Yeah, but we can
Probably-
do that later.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of stuff with the robed figure, arms outstretched is the stuff that we found.
Yeah, I found his coins as well.
And he looks at them. Right. Yeah, I've not seen these before exactly, but there's a school of thought about the desert people who are all buried here, and he sounds like a really hungover dude, like really hanging, and he's like, it's thought that these people were either killed off by the hunter-scavengers, the first ones that came round into these crags, or the war with the desert tieflings, but no one really knows. It's thought that they weren't the original inhabitants of the sands, that they built their tombs on top of things that were already there. They were often called the first scavengers because it's in their tombs they would collect things, treasures from an even older people, but these coins, they remind me of something that we've seen a couple times when I get little items. It's some sort of prophet, something they used to worship.
There was writing in places that talked about a prophet.
Yeah, it's not often we see it.
By the blood of sand and the flesh of man.
Sounds nice.
Cool. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I see if he recognised that.
I mean, they write all sorts of shit, but I think this means that we're getting close. And
Close to what?
he gives you a look.
If I'm not hostile towards him, or none of us are, he's more inclined to tell.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what was that ability?
It's my haunted one background.
Oh, sexy.
Okay.
And if I'm on my own and I'm not hostile to someone, they might take up arms to help me fight.
Oh, sexy. We're leaving you alone more.
loner.
Fucking pop.
So basically, don't attack anyone. If we just talk to them, we'll be fine.
Sick.
He takes his drink of his water and pours you all out another sort of glug from his big old water skin. And he's like, he looks at you and he looks at everyone. It's just you in here now. There's Lloyd's not here and Cook's out as well.
He's somewhere outside chatting.
Kick
Near.
Lloyd out.
He's like,
Cade still in? Was it Cade coming?
no, he eyed you outside. He was talking to the same group that Cook was about Dav, and he sort of eyed you all and gave you a bit of evils.
Fuck him.
He's a bit
Strong.
He pours you all that water and he says, I don't trust anyone here. Don't really trust you, but I trust you're somewhat competent. And at this point, I need people who I know their arseholes from their elbows.
I punched a hand.
That's nice. So has a moment of doubt.
Cool story, bro.
She's doing her best.
You're the one that's good with that thing, right? He points down at the sword.
Don't look at my sword.
That's good.
I said don't look at it.
Alright, I respect that.
Can I try and look at the sword? Being from my past.
From her, it's in the sheath. It's in the sheath, right? What does the sheath look like, Amaya?
It's like leather, and it's got carvings of like flowers and trees on it and stuff. It's kind of pretty sheath. But if you dare look at it, I will pull out my long sword, which is not the sword in the sheath. It's my other one.
Anything at a quick glance of interest, just from what I've made?
As a someone of your trade, you know that it's very well made. But that's about it.
Fancy sword.
He leans in. Before I say anything, I need to ask you all 3 questions. And I'll know if you're telling the truth.
Insight check.
Well, yeah.
Is he telling the truth? Is he telling the truth?
You roll insight.
8.
I think as a group, because we would all be thinking that, we'd that's
Asking for that one.
He rolled an 8, so that's a success.
Yes.
You don't think he's telling. You think he's bluffing. But he's got a decent bluff on him.
Yeah.
Though.
I mean, I respect the hustle, but I just want to know if he's lying to
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I believe him.
He's a scary man.
Okay.
He's a scary captain, Daddy.
Captain Daddy.
Which one is this?
This is Captain Drummond, the
Captain Daddy.
portly human.
Would say with
And on that
Trump,
though, he is very
Daddy sugar.
he's very atypical. He's a gruff guy. He has a Dustmere accent. Like he's not like someone you'd expect to work in this job, but here he is. Number 1, are you a part of or party to a mutiny of any sort?
Sorry, that was me, not Sentinel.
Doesn't that usually happen in pirate crews?
It can do, but we are a crew of sorts, are we
I
not?
suppose you are. Agents.
No mutinies.
So is that a no?
So no on the mutiny.
Yeah, no mutiny.
Right, you're not feeling with confidence at this point.
What, because we said no to the mutiny? Do you want us to... We can mutiny if you'd like.
All right.
I think Dav was the mutinous one.
I mean, I did tell you that he wanted to stab you.
Dav, yeah.
I did tell you that.
No,
I
I've
don't
got
think
my
you
eye on
would.
him.
Well,
No,
we
I
don't
don't.
need to anymore. He's dead.
He is
Yeah.
super dead now.
It was
Dead
pretty
deaf.
brutal.
Dead, dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, the sorry end, but, you know, it's no skin off my back.
Yeah, we wouldn't tell you that if we were going to mutiny against you.
All right, that's a
Question
fair answer.
2.
Are you able to trust me?
Yeah, well, I was a natural 20, so yeah.
The answer to that one's quite easy.
No.
I trust no one.
Sure.
Uncertainty is good. The last question is...
This guy's an absolute tool.
Why is and he looks at Amaya and Freya. Why is Clayton here? Clayton is the guy who helped you in your session 0,
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
and he has been in the camp. He's not been party to any of these in these tunes.
Why is he here?
And you need to. Do you want me to remind you?
Yeah.
So he's the guy who
I remember
who
who
he
he is.
is.
I've got
Yeah.
it written down. I
He-
just don't remember what he did.
he paid your way in, and he was using this as an out as well because he needed to get away from Duncan.
Okay, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say he's got his own reasons for being here.
Well, you guys came in with him, and he paid your way.
Well, yeah, because we did him a favour.
And what favour was that?
I'm not going to tell you.
I know Clayton, and I know his boss, and I want to know why he's here.
Who's Clayton's boss?
You guys recognise Clayton as he's someone in the crew. He's a bit of a thief. Like, he's skilled with a knife. He's not really been given any jobs in terms of tombs and scavenging. He's been left out. He's ginger.
Do we recognise him, or do I recognise him?
No.
Do I from Time and Dustme?
No.
I might even know. I'll ask.
Why don't you just ask him yourself? We don't know.
All right. You did a job and he paid you his way in. All right, well, I mean, I've got to deal with what I got, right? Here's what I'm going to propose. The reason I'm taking you all through the Cragmore, the reason I'm accused of taking you all haplessly through these places that have already been scavenged is a half-truth, but there was a method to the madness. 70 years ago, they missed something big. And because back then they were just taking the easy stuff, and leaving. Duke Gaspar himself sent me here to find something. And we're getting close.
What did you miss? What did they miss? What are you trying to find?
I don't know whether I should tell you.
Well, why start the story then?
Because we're trying to find something of value.
But how can we find something of value if you won't tell us the thing that we're finding?
Fair enough. And he takes a very big sigh, and he takes another drink. He's looking awful. He looks really awful. It's a special coilstone. It's priceless. And the reason I know we're getting close, and this is something that you cannot repeat to anyone, is he gave me a special compass. And he shows you. It's this small thing of brass. It's intricate, and even from a distance you see how beautiful it is. The tiny gears are visible through the face, and they tick and spin. And Freya, you would recognise this as shard. It's some sort of shard work. It's powered by something arcane. So, and I'm going to drop all of the bullshit. Can I trust you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You better get used to your dusty faces then, because you'll be working together from now on. The next tomb is about a day away, and I'm going to be going down with you. I'll leave the unit up on the surface to Cade. Oh, and don't tell the lieutenant. He doesn't know any of this. And he cannot know any of this.
What's his fucking deal?
He's a stuck-up lieutenant, isn't he? Tell you what, actually, you can do me one favour before you bed down, is go to Cleric Entin, ensure he has enough spells left for extra food and water, and see if Cook's willing to rustle something up nice for you guys. You did a good job. Right, and with that, you hear a faint...
Oh, fuck's sake!
We warned them though, right? We said which direction they were in.
Yeah, and Captain sort of looks at you like, is that it?
They're coming.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as you walk out it's getting into dusk now, the sun is really low, it's dim. You see from up the dune that you were just walking, about 10 of these wild husks just fucking sprinting down. Like, some of them are falling in the sand, scrambling forwards.
Should we have done something about that?
No. We're fine.
And they are gunning straight for the camp.
How
While we were
grouped up are
chatting...
they?
They're pretty spread out. They've sort of come over that broken rock that you
Are
climb
they
through.
more than 50 feet apart?
No, they're not more than 50 feet apart. They're about 50 feet apart from one to one. Rest are in the middle.
Okay. I want to look towards Amia, and pull out my rope. I
Yeah.
want to see how long they can stand up, and just give her one end of the rope
Oh,
and
yeah.
take the other and spread out.
Yeah, cool, we're gonna run at them.
Okay.
Just
Also,
sword in one hand,
so
one
you're
in the
going to try
other.
and
Can I ask-
clothesline them.
Yeah. Can I ask if while
Ankle
we were
level.
chatting that could have constituted a short rest?
No, that was not an hour.
But
It was an
Um,
hour. How did they get through the fog? Because it lasts an hour.
it lasts a whole hour?
Yeah.
I thought it lasted a minute.
No, let me.
I thought it lasted a minute. I was like, yeah, they'll probably take their time to go through. Some of them would find the, if it lasts an hour, then I'm retconning that whole thing.
Well, I mean, distance though. Does it stop when I leave? In
well, is it?
distance?
Do you need to
Is it
concentrate?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good question. Yes, then if it's concentration, once you leave the range.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we would have said.
Aura and I are running at them with a rope.
Okay, and now I'll leave
And
this to you
sword out in the
guys.
other hand.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you guys because this is the first session and we had a long setup. Do you want to start combat or do you want to stop here?
I probably need to get.
Yeah.
It's coming up to 11:15.
We've
Cliffhanger.
got a puppy.
Give us a cliffhanger.
Yeah, cliffhanger. We've got the rope, we've got our swords, and we've got some husks.
And we got a
Yes.
new best friend, Captain Daddy.
Well,
That's what you called him, mate. Don't look at me like that.
So 10 of these wild husks, they're all rooted up to their eyeballs.
Well, they're screwed now. A rope is
and
coming.
they are screaming. And as you guys run at them with a rope between the two of you, you would have let you pass the perimeter. You're going for them.
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah.
So you guys leap over this 10-foot the cattle grid. You jump over it, and then you just split,
Just spread
running.
Yeah.
And that's all. Pick it up next time.
Before that happens, I just go. I'll just go to Sentinel, being like, "I'll bet you a copper that they only take down, well, less than one.
it's like
No,
bowling,
less than
right?
three. Less than one. It so said. Let's say
Just
three
one
or
leg
less.
off.
There's what, 10
I
of them?
said. I thought you were going to say, I'll bet you a copper they take out less than 3 of them. And I was going to say, I'll bet you a copper they take out less than 1.
What's it called in bowling where you only get like
Split.
yeah?
I mean, yeah. I guess if they spread out,
So that's the first session.
yeah.
We did it!
Well done, guys.
Are you going to do a little bye?
We can say bye if you guys want. Yeah, it was great.
How are we saying goodbye?
We say bye.
Bye.
Right.
Yeah, thanks
Look at the
everyone.
camera. Bye.